Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, we're gonna talk about quite a few of those different things right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome. Hello, hello.
Hi, Andre.
How are you today?
How is everybody?
Hello, everybody. Long, frustrating
Can you hear
day.
me?
Hugs, hugs, hugs. Who is that, Michelle?
Yes.
I'm sorry, girl. Sending you love and hugs, prayers.
Tomorrow will be a better one, I promise. Well, I don't promise, but I know it. I feel it.
Thank you very much.
Bring it into existence.
Yes, ma'am.
You're right. Yes, it will be a better day tomorrow.
Get back up. Get back up. That's right, sweetie. We got this.
Thank you, guys.
So I'm just, we've been sharing this out a little bit here. We're getting a few more people in here. I'm going to give it just another minute or two before we get started. Today we're going to talk about overcoming the big downfall of procrastinating. I know a lot of us do it. A lot of us, you know, we always tend to put some things off that we procrastinate on, and we focus more on the fun things, the things that we want to do, rather than some of the things we may not want to do. And of course, as business owners, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes we have to do the not so fun stuff just as much as we have to do the fun stuff. But we're going to talk about all that here in just a couple minutes. Welcome, Melissa. Hello, Helen. Hello, Michelle.
Hey, sorry, I was in Messenger, so I couldn't come back to unmute myself.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Sam, you're in. So, Chris, Sam is the lady I was telling you about who wanted to come in and kind of check out the Zoom, and she might, you know, she's thinking about signing up, but she's not quite sure yet. And so I invited her in, and yay, she came.
Welcome,
Awesome.
Sam.
Welcome, Sam.
Welcome, Sam.
Welcome, Sam.
My name's Christopher Turner. I'm kind of leading these discussions that we do on a daily basis. We come in together.
He's a great guy.
Talk about our businesses and the ways we can improve our not only our businesses, but we can help each other grow through what we do in our business. So I'm really glad to have you here. Today we're going to talk about how to overcome some of the some procrastination. Do you procrastinate at all?
Oh yeah, a lot. But
okay,
today,
well maybe
I did something that I didn't think I could do, because Helen, I've talked to her that I sell Mary Kay as well, and thought maybe her and I were thinking that Mary Kay and the paparazzi stuff would go together really well. And I signed up for a vendor event.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, awesome.
Good stuff for your Mary Kay?
I'm a little nervous. I've never done one.
Well, that's one of the things that we talk about in this group here too. And you know, of course, we're all paparazzi, but all the things that we talk about within these groups often can relate to just about any direct sales company. It's just much easier if you're in a good one like paparazzi.
Right.
So give me a quick minute here. Samantha, why don't you tell us all a little bit about yourself? You said that you are a Mary Kay representative. Do you also work outside the home besides Mary Kay?
No, well, technically, yes. I run a daycare for my sister and a few other of my friends. And I homeschool my 2 kids.
Oh, wow. So you're a
she's
busy
a brave
person.
woman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's you know, they say idle hands are make the doubles work easier or something like that. Anybody know that phrase?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So what's made you kind of follow some of the paparazzi? Are you just like the jewelry, or have you been seeing Helen and Faith and the growth that they've had? I mean, I don't know if you've been watching them closely, but they are moving and grooving.
They are. I didn't. Well, oh my gosh, Helen, how long has it been since we've found that we knew each other? Because well, it was
About
from
2 years.
I thought it was
About-
more than
It was just, I think it was just before we started in paparazzi, and we've been doing it for 2 years.
okay. Yeah, I know him from my sister that lives in Colorado. So that's how I met them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, that's good stuff. So, yeah, why don't you go ahead and enjoy the little bit of conversation that we're going to have here. If you ever have any questions or anything like that, down at the bottom, there's a reactions button where you can raise your hand. So just
Okay.
raise your hand anytime. If you don't see it, you might need to click on your screen so that it'll show up, especially if you're on a phone.
Okay.
But down at the reactions, there should be a raise hand button that you can use if you
Yep.
decide you want to speak, and it'll give me a little bit of notice so that I can call upon you.
Okay.
But welcome, I'm glad to have you. So today, guys, we're going to talk about overcoming procrastination. It's not an easy thing to do, and procrastination, believe it or not, is almost as bad as something like diabetes or high blood pressure. And on top of that, most of us have it. So it makes it a little something that's definitely worth talking about. So let's see. First, I'm going to tell you, there's this little story that they have here about overcoming the habit of delaying important tasks, right? Procrastination. That's what that is. If any of you don't know what procrastination is, that's the delaying of important tasks, right? And it's a habit of doing that. A lot of times we delay those important tasks for many, many reasons, and we're going to get into that. So let's just say it's Friday afternoon and the clock is ticking. You're working furiously to complete a task before the 5 o'clock deadline, while silently cursing yourself for not starting it sooner. How did this happen? What went wrong? Why did you lose focus? Well, there were those hours that you spent rereading emails and checking social media, the excessive preparation, the coffee breaks, and the time spent on other tasks that you could have easily, safely left for the next week. Sound familiar? I'm sure you're not alone. Procrastination is a trap that many of us fall into. In fact, according to research and speaker peers, 95% of us procrastinators do it to some degree. While it may be comforting to know that you're not alone, it can be sobering to realize just how much it can hold you back. So we're going to talk about that right now. And one of the things I want to ask you guys, in your opinion, is procrastination the same as being lazy? Anybody have an opinion on that? Do you feel like
I can say that although I don't feel like they're the same, I feel like they can quite possibly go hand in hand. Lazy people can have a habit of procrastination. That's just my opinion, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Anybody else have an opinion on that? Whether or not you think procrastination and laziness, they go hand in hand? Are they similar? Are they the same? What do you think?
Definitely, I don't think that they're the same. Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, and I
Agreed.
agree with you guys. I think they do go hand in hand really well with each other. Procrastination and laziness have a lot of the same symptoms, let's say. It's often confused to be laziness when you say somebody's procrastinating. But procrastination is an active process that you choose to do something instead of the task that you know you should be doing. Right? That's like you're just choosing it. Where in contrast, laziness usually suggests apathy or the inactivity and the unwillingness to act. Right? If you're lazy, it's because you just aren't going to do it. You just don't want to do it. You have no motivation, no drive whatsoever, and the chances of you getting it done, there's probably not much that's going to make you achieve that goal because you're just simply lazy rather than procrastinating. But when you procrastinate, that's when you're choosing that, hey, I've got this that needs to be done, but I just don't want to do it right now. Instead, I'm going to, I'm going to watch my TV show, or I'm going to call my mom, or I'm going to, read this book, or whatever the case may be, right? 9 times out of 10, those things that we procrastinate are things that need to be done. So it usually involves ignoring an unpleasant but likely more important task in favor of something that's more enjoyable, right? So if if you got friends or family or whatever that are like, oh my gosh, we're gonna barbecue this weekend and we want you to come over, and flat out you've got a deadline that you need to meet on Monday, that you have church that you've got to go on Sunday, you've got things that you got to do for your kids to prepare for the school next week, and like you really have no business going and doing something extracurricular, even though it could be fun, because you have priorities that need to be done, and you choose to go to the barbecue instead because you would rather do something that's more enjoyable and fun to you rather than the work that needs to be done. Everybody okay on that? We're understanding, following along, and all that jazz.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now remember, if you're taking notes, I often, I definitely recommend it. If you're not, hopefully this is something that you can go back and watch again. This is going to be saved on the YouTube link, so feel free to subscribe and go watch the other YouTube videos as well. So giving into this impulse can have several serious consequences. For example, even minor episodes of procrastination can make us feel guilty or ashamed. It can lead to reduced productivity and cause us to miss out on achieving our goals. And what we mean by that is, if I've set myself a goal that, okay, here, this is a perfect example. It's the end of the month, right? We're coming up on the 27th now. We have just a couple days left for the end of the month, and I've been telling myself all month long, I'm going to sign up 2 people all month long. Yeah, and let's say I got my first, but I haven't really been focused on my second person because I've just been busy with other stuff, right? It's not always the easiest to go talk to somebody about joining your team, or, making a change for their life for the better, right? When we talk to somebody about wanting to join our team, we don't want to necessarily take it upon ourselves that we're thinking for that person and we know what's best for them, because we don't. And so a lot of times we could find it unpleasant or even unnerving to go and speak to somebody about joining our team, no matter how much you think it could benefit them, just because of that fear of rejection or possibly denial or being shut down before you have the opportunity to really speak the opportunity. Does that make sense? Yep. So it's one of those things that would be easily pushed off to the side and said, no, you know what, I didn't. Here it is, the 27th. I only had one person sign up on my team this month so far. I've only got 4 days left. I mean, I'm not going to really push it hard, because if I did, then I feel like I'm like stepping on people's toes, or, I'm putting myself out there too far. And that's what's going to slow us down and keep us from reaching those goals. Anybody have any questions so far, or any thoughts, something they want to add to that? Examples, maybe?
That's a really
Everybody good?
No, you're good, dude. That's a really good point. You're on the point.
Good. I love it. So if we procrastinate over a long period of time, we become demotivated. We get delusioned in our work, which can lead to depression, and often we can lose our jobs over it. Or, in most extreme cases, people that fall into that pattern of procrastination often fall into those lines of depression, because they're not feeling their self-worth. They're not feeling their drive. They're not feeling their motivation. They're feeling sluggish because they're never pushing the gas pedal. You feel me? So if your car's on an instant idle all the time, and the engine's hot, the body's hot to the touch, and the car's it's living, but it's not going nowhere. It's just sitting there, burning up the resources and getting hot, and you're just not going anywhere. Eventually your car is just going to break down, right? Like they have the purpose of going. The whole idea for your car is to be moving, and when you keep it in an idle situation where it's not moving and it's just sitting there heating up, then that's when things start to break down and they don't work with you. So we don't want to lead to that depression in our own personal lives, right? We want to make sure that we're hitting those goals and doing those things that we're supposed to be doing. Remember, we talk about IPA, right? Income producing activities. We want to make sure that those income producing activities are overweighing all the things that we're doing on the side. And when I say that, we also want to make sure that, like, just because it's uncomfortable to do doesn't mean that it doesn't have to get done, right? Like, a lot of people often will say, this is uncomfortable to do, so I'm going to put it off, I'm going to put it off, I'm going to put it off. And eventually you just never do it. You just don't do it, right? So if you're saying, man, I want to be a business owner, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to sell the heck out of this jewelry, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. Or, you know what, I'm going to go live, but I'm just not quite ready yet. I need to get myself I need to get in gear. I need to feel a little bit more confident about myself. I want to wait until I get my hair done next week, so that way when I go live, I look good, right? Okay, well, now you're procrastinating even longer. Okay, and then next week comes by and now you're not going live because,
something
you're
else.
not feeling it that day. It just continues and continues. And then, go ahead, Dre.
I was gonna say, like, it's always something else. If you wait, so just like Chris said, you're gonna wait until your hair gets done, and I completely understand that, because you know what? When I get my hair cut, I'm looking fly, like I'm feeling good, and so then I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get my hair cut first, you know what? I ordered this shirt from Amazon. I'm gonna wait for that to come. You know what I mean? That comes, and I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Then when that day comes, my stomach is hurting. You know what? My stomach is hurting all day. I don't know what's wrong. And you know what? I'm gonna have to do this tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna come. You're gonna have a migraine. Okay? Oh man, head hurting, and at the end of the day, there's always going to be that excuse. There's always going to be that excuse, but only if you allow that excuse to be that excuse. If you allow it to win, that's what's going to happen, and procrastination is going to come right through the door.
Preach it. Exactly.
That is so true. Like, that me and her, right, signing up, she's like, we're gonna do this, I'm like, yeah, let me pay off some credit cards, let me do this first before we do it. And they had a deal going on where you got like extra pieces or something when you signed up, and so she was like, I'm gonna do it by the end of this month. And when the end of the month came, I was like, I still didn't get the credit cards paid off, right, or the credit card whatever done. And she's like, I'm signing up with or without you. Okay, right. Credit card payment get put off. Let's go sign up. She just
dragged her kicking and screaming.
Yeah, she grabbed me by the ear and was like, yeah, let's go.
And that's what you have to do.
Here, out of all of us that are consultants right now, when the opportunity was brought to you, did you take it immediately, or did you push it off to the side and say, I don't know, I'm not quite ready? And then once you did sign up, don't you wish you signed up earlier?
Woo! Every time.
Time.
I've heard so many people, you're not going to be ready for so many things in life, guys. There's going to be so much stuff you're not ready for. Think about, like, I don't know everybody's situation, but when I first had a child, I wasn't ready. Right? I got 5 kids now, but I'm just saying, though, it's like you're always never ready. You know what I mean? Well, we figured it out. We moved through it. We moved past it. We got it. We got it going, and now look at us. You know what I mean? Like, we know exactly what we're doing. So we never know exactly what we're doing, but you know what I mean? Like, we, with the children, they are always something else. But it's just something you have to be. There's firefighters. You have to be an excuse fighter. You know what I mean?
Hey, there you go. And just because you're going to be a daddy doesn't mean that if you're not ready, it's going to wait for you. It's going to happen regardless. You better get prepared.
It's about to show up on your doorstep. Let me tell you. Okay, and you know what? And sometimes that's exactly what we need is that push. You know, just like if you're a bungee jumper and you're on that ledge and you're like, I paid this to do this, but you know what? Now I don't know if I want to do it. I'm up on this ledge. I don't know if I want to do it. Then they just push you, and then it's all over. Now it's all, I did it. All right, it's good now. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just need that push.
Yep, definitely. So step one, this is the first thing about recognizing that you're procrastinating. Samantha, how you doing so far, hon? You good with us? You okay? You have any questions so far? Okay, sounds good. So you might be putting off a task because you've had to reprioritize your workload. If you're briefly delaying an important task for a genuinely good reason, then you aren't necessarily procrastinating. However, if you start to put things off indefinitely or switch focus because you want to avoid something, then you probably are, right? You may also be procrastinating if you fill your day with low priority tasks, right? That's also procrastinating in itself. If you feel like yourself, like if you know you got lots of work to do, right? You know you got, I mean, let's be real about it. You know you got lots of work to do that you don't want to do, but you want to feel like you're being motivated. You want to feel like you're getting ahead. So you write down on your list of daily tasks all the easiest things that there are to possibly do. And you write all those things down. And then you find yourself seeing that you're still procrastinating on doing those simple tasks, and you haven't even put the hard ones on there because you already procrastinated from the get. You procrastinated before you even started. Go ahead, Angie.
I feel like you're talking to me, Chris. What's up?
Hey, listen. Hey, check it out. Hey, you know what? I don't know if you heard me laughing or not, but I was. And the reason why, because it sounds just like me sometimes. I'm telling you right now. So like in this session, when we're all giving our opinions, we're all giving our points, we're just trying to help the group. But at the end of the day, doesn't mean that we're perfect, and doesn't mean that we don't fall victim to these things.
It's almost like you're pointing the finger, but you got three fingers being pointed right back at you, right? You know that saying?
Yeah.
What I was gonna share was I was gonna tell you is, Chris, you're right on it. You're right on it with this. And I think that unless you're called out on your excuses, those excuses are always going to be there. So that's another thing I want to point out is you need to make sure that you have an accountability partner. You cannot be accountable. Yeah, you can't be accountable for yourself. That's my experience. You need to have somebody that's calling you out on your shit. Excuse my language, but I'm just saying it needs to be done because I feel like we just get too much in our heads, and I know you guys hear it all the time, but you know, that isolation stuff needs to stop.
Well, how often do you hear it being talked about in trainings to find yourself accountability partner? Those are the reasons why, because we don't procrastinate so much when we know that somebody else is watching us do our work, right? If you're in a 9-to-5 job, in a corporate job, and you have your boss on the job, I guarantee you're doing your work more efficiently. And when the boss steps away, the mice will play.
That's right.
That's always, I was just about to say that's always it. You go into the office before COVID, right? And boss is out for the day or out on vacation, and you got people just messing around half of the time. And
absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, listen to this. When he said that, it really did something to me, because he said when the bosses step away, the mice will play. When did that start? Right? That probably started when your parents left you home by yourself the first time, right? What did you do? You acted a dang fool. You ran around and did because we can do whatever we want to do, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Give the other one, because I bet you, Chris, I bet you're gonna say what I was just about to say. Go ahead. What is it?
When the teacher has to step outside the class,
That's what I was gonna say.
Don't you know you are not finishing reading page 52?
It's a party when that teacher goes. When that teacher leaves, it's a party in that thing. That's so real.
And you know what?
Was that it, Trey? Was that what you was gonna say?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Hit the nail on the head.
And you know what? And that's also another symptom of rebellion. That's what you call rebellion. And you know what? Rebellion ain't no bueno.
Not at all.
We're a rebellious nation.
We are.
Until you get called out on your stuff, and we need to be doing that. I really appreciate our community here. You guys are a
rebellious team. We're a rebellious team, guys. Do you know how many times I hear excuses from everyone, and then when I call them out on it, it's not so nice. They don't really like it. We are a rebellious team.
Mhm.
Oh, she calls me out on mine.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nobody knows.
So check this out. Let's tie this back in to what Chris was just talking about. Or actually, it was Angie. I think Angie said it. You need an accountability partner, right? Okay. So when we talk about accountability partners, we must understand that if you truly, and I say truly with the strongest meaning, if you truly want your accountability partner to work for you, you must, one, choose an accountability partner that will give you the business when you know you need it, right? That's the second thing. The second thing is you got to listen when they tell you and not get mad. And that's the hard part, okay? Is you can't get mad when your accountability partner call you out on your stuff, right? You can't get mad. You have to learn from it because it's not criticism, it's constructive criticism. There's a difference.
And let me tell you this, you are also procrastinating if you're picking an accountability partner that will let you slack. Don't
you sure are.
get yourself fooled.
If you pick your best friend because they're nice and you know that, oh, they love me, so they no, that ain't the one. You need the one that you're scared of. The one that you're scared of, that's the one you want. Because at that point, hey, oh, man, I know he gonna say something to me now. I know she gonna say, dang it, I can't pick her. She gonna call me out for real. No, that's when you grow. That's when you grow.
Well, and you gotta understand this. You just don't want to pick anybody. You need to have a relationship with this person. This person doesn't have to be your best friend, but I'm on my back road here. So you'll see me talking with my hands. Yeah, you need to have a relationship with that individual that kind of knows you, right? So in a business like this, you got to work at building that friendship, that relationship. So yeah, absolutely.
And let me just add this, not that I'm arguing with Angie at all, because I completely agree, but it doesn't even hurt to have somebody that does not know you. So that way you can't.
Oh, that's true.
You can't even get away with anything from them because that person doesn't know whether you're slacking or not. They just know you got a job to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I agree. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I want them to know me. Hey, I want them to know me because I want them to be nice to me. So.
But there you go. Now you're kind of procrastinating again, though, right? Because now you're more worried about the feeling that you're going to get than you are the job that needs to be done.
Yeah. You got a good point. Absolutely. No, that's truth right there.
I know we got a lot of people that just came in. I want to say hello to Des and Anna and iPhone, whoever you are. Rebecca, Crystal, welcome everybody that's coming in late. We're talking about procrastinating and the ways to overcome them. The first one we just talked about was step one, recognizing that you're procrastinating. And that was fill your day with low priority tasks. That's one of the ways that you know you're procrastinating. We're going to get to another way right now, which is leave an item on your to-do list for a long time, even though it's important, right? If you have an item on your to-do list that you know, is somebody saying something?
Yeah, hang on. Before you do that, on that, how to overcome the procrastination, there's something that Darren Hardy, I love him, right? He talks about in his Insane Productivity having like a negative consequence for it, basically. Like set a goal and have it out there publicly. Pick like a charity that you don't like or something, right? And pick an amount that you're going to donate if you don't hit the goal, and make it to where it's not going to, kill you, bankrupt you, but that it's going to put a little bite, because you don't want to lose that money.
Especially to that company.
Especially to the company that you're going to be writing the check out to or whatever, because it's a charity you don't want to support. And that motivates you more to hit that goal and overcome that procrastination. And then you give that check to someone and tell them that if I absolutely do not hit my goal, you mail that thing.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
that
That's
way
a good way to
it's
be
not
accountable.
on you to pay, because then you can just, I don't have to send it. They will send it. You will lose that money.
I you know what? That sparked I never heard that one before, but that sparked an idea for me. Okay, so what if you made it well, maybe I'm speaking for myself, so I'm not speaking for everyone else, because everybody else has their own language, that works for them. But what if it was physical? What if it was a physical activity? I don't be wanting to do no physical activities. So if I had to do 50 push-ups or 100 push-ups, something like that, maybe I wouldn't want to mess up and do that. You know what I mean? So, something like that. I got to go run a mile or something. I don't know. That could work for you too.
The key is to make it public and have somebody, like you were saying, your accountability partner, hold you accountable to that and make you do the thing you don't want to do. That's the key. Is you gotta make it public so that people know, because it's like your reputation on the line then too.
Yep.
Now, what I find funny about this is that if you think about it and you listen to the conversation that we're having here, we're talking about punishments, merits, and demerits. Anybody heard of the merit and demerit system? Right? You do something right, you get a merit. You do something wrong, you get a demerit. You get so many demerits, there's a consequence. You get so many merits, there's an award, right? This is principles that we get from the time we're born. These are the things that our parents put us in timeout because we didn't follow the rule, or they give us an extra treat because we did our chores. We get an allowance, right? We are not ever done learning, ever, right?
Ever.
So here we are at 20 to 50 years old, all of us in this Zoom conference here at all different ages, and we are all still learning the same things, right? Because it doesn't ever change. It never ends. And if you can't control yourself at this point right now, then you need to continue changing those habits and habit stacking until you get yourself down to making yourself the machine that you need to be as a business owner. It all ties into each other. And so, when we're afraid to do something, when we don't want to do something, that ain't no different than a kid. Why do you think a kid will sit there for an hour and a half at the kitchen table because he didn't want to eat their broccoli? Right? They're procrastinating all night long. And what are we doing as parents? Quit procrastinating and eat your broccoli. You're not getting down until you eat your broccoli. Do the task you don't want to do, and I'll let you down. Right? But nope. They'll fight it and fight it and fight it. And some kids will fall asleep on their plates before they will eat their broccoli. Just like some of us will fall asleep on our chair with our phone in our hand before we ever got up and did the stupid task that would have saved ourselves a whole bunch of principles and time by just getting up and doing it, even though we didn't want to.
In this case, it would make us a gang of money.
Exactly. Get paid doing it. Okay, so another thing is read emails several times over without making the decision on what to do with them. Has anybody ever done that? Anybody ever read an email and just like you don't even know how to respond to it because you're just uncomfortable right now? You don't want to respond to it because you don't want to say something negative, but yet you know you have to respond to that email. What do you think happens? It gets pushed to the side, right? And then a couple days later, there's a notification. Poof, hey, did you forget there's an email in here that hasn't been answered? And then you got that person messaging you. And now your integrity and your credibility is slacking because you're procrastinating and not doing the job that you need to do because you're uncomfortable about it in that exact moment.
That happens to me. Yeah. Especially like in my day job, since there's several of us on this team and you never know which one they're actually directing the email to. And I'm like, well, I could answer it, but I'm a little uncomfortable doing so because I may or may not have the right answer. So I'm just going to sit there and hope somebody else answers it.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of us do. And that's why hopefully we can be accountable for that and know that we do that, so that way it's something that we can change. Samantha, how you doing, hon? Are you still comfortable in there? Have any questions?
Nope, I'm good. I don't procrastinate by not responding to emails. I procrastinate by not checking emails.
Oh yeah, no, that happens too. Yeah, we do that as well. We do that as well. For all of those that don't recognize Samantha Plummer, she's in here as a guest. Helen and Faith had brought her in. She's considering joining an amazing group like us, and wanted to kind of view some of what we do as far as training. So she's here as a guest right now. So everybody just give her a wave and a welcome.
Welcome, Samantha.
Welcome.
Are you guys all from like Colorado area, or is it all over?
Nope, we're all over the U.S.
I'm in
All
Texas.
over the place.
Yep, and I'm a really big guy,
Andrew's
so
all
I'm
here.
literally
Hey.
all over. No, I'm
There's
kidding.
a lot of people here. Hi, guys. Say hi if you guys haven't said hi yet.
Yeah.
Hi.
So
Hi.
next one is how many of us go and start a high priority task, something that really needs to be done that we don't want to do, and then once we start it, we go off and make coffee, right? Like you don't want to mow the lawn, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the lawnmower out of the garage and we're going to take it out to the backyard and we're going to put it underneath the awning, but then we're going to go make a cup of coffee and maybe smoke a cigarette or watch Judge Judy or call my mom, right? Or we're going to do some of those things before we pull the cord on the lawnmower, because we know once we pull the cord on the lawnmower, we're screwed. We have to do the lawn, right? So we're going to start that. We're going to take it out there. We're going to get everything set up, because that's the easiest stuff to do, right? It's easy to take the lawnmower out of the garage, take it into the backyard. It's the actual physically sweating and mowing, and that's the part that we don't want to do. So that's where we stop. And we go and we decide to make our coffee or have our cigarette or hang out with our kids for a minute, or even, like how many of you have ever procrastinated by once your child's finally asleep and the excuse that you give everybody, the child that's on your lap or that's running up and down the halls or that's excitable at all times, right? That child is the main reason why we tell a lot of people that, hey, I'm sorry, I can't right now, right? Whether it's going to the store, whether it's coming over to watch a movie, whether it's doing your business, doing your work, I can't right now because of my child, right? And then once your child is asleep, taking a nap, falling down, and they're out, are you up working your priority list of things that you need to do? Or are you every once in a while going in there and casually making sure they're still asleep? Like,
I always check and see if my kids are sleeping like through the middle of the all the time. They're like, Mom, stop coming to my room. I'm like, go to sleep then.
Right? But that's how we procrastinate, is because we no longer have that excuse there for us. So now we need to go check on that excuse and make sure that excuse is sleeping so that we can't use that excuse at that moment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So fill your time with unimportant tasks that other people ask you to do instead of getting on with the important tasks already on your list, right? So if I have important things that I need to do, but I have somebody else that has something just a little bit more excitable, or maybe a friend that needs help, maybe my mom had called me over to ask me to help her do something, or ooh, that cute girl that lives around the corner, and she's decided that she wants me to come over and help her out with something. And, well, because I have a little emotional interest in her, I decide I'm going to go be the hero for her, right? when I know that I should be doing my job, I should be doing my work, and I shouldn't be messing around with any of those other extra activities. But yet here I am doing something that I'm procrastinating with because, again, I'm not anxious to go do that task. Does that make sense?
That's good.
Cool. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions so far? Hello, June. So step 2, work out why you're procrastinating. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about right now. Why are you procrastinating? You need to understand the reasons why you're procrastinating before you can ever begin to tackle it. For instance, are you avoiding a particular task because you find it boring or unpleasant? And if so, take steps to get it out of the way quickly so that you can focus on aspects of your job that you find more enjoyable. Poor organization can lead to procrastination. Organized people successfully overcome it because they use prioritized to-do lists and they create effective schedules. Now, I can tell you right now that I know that me and Marissa have been talking a lot about schedules lately and things that have to be done, things that we want to get done, and trying to organize how to get those things done. Not getting those things done because you're not necessarily organized to do them right away isn't necessarily procrastinating. But when you're not setting that schedule because you're afraid to follow that schedule, now you're procrastinating. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes clear sense. Very clear.
Right, because if I don't want to do what I put on that schedule, right? Like for instance, if I want to start losing weight and I want to get into that bikini figure by summertime, right? I know that I need to start like right now. Like if that's the thought in my head right now, like it needs to start immediately, like right now. But how many of us instead say, okay, well, I'm gonna start on Monday. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start on Monday because I know I had already planned to go to a barbecue on Friday. And you know I ain't gonna miss my barbecue ribs.
And you know I'm about to have some potato salad.
And you know, and I'm not gonna miss that stuff, and I'm not definitely so, and I don't want to cheat myself because I know if I start this diet now, on that day, I know I'm gonna be eating it, so I don't want to cheat. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wait until Monday before I start. You see where we're falling behind again? We're already procrastinating from the get. We ain't even jumped out the window yet. We're already procrastinating. We haven't even ate the first bite of that carrot stick. And we're already procrastinating. We're already planning to procrastinate. That's what's worse about it, guys. We plan to procrastinate. What do I mean by that? When we write down our list of things that we want to do, and we have our pen in our hand, and we're getting ready to write down that job that we don't want to do, and we don't. Because we go ahead and write down another job instead, because we're already preparing to procrastinate.
Oh my God.
I already know that tomorrow, if I don't do this job today, tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, I know I'm just going to put it off to the next day.
It's crazy because, I mean, if you're perfect out there and you don't do any of these things, you know, hey, I guess what? I just don't believe you, you know, because I'm telling you right now, like this stuff is just normal human behavior. This is all this is, you know what I mean? We're just trying to come up with some positive ways to overcome these things so that we don't have to let them stop us from getting to our goals.
Hey, like this, you know, we all know that we all sinners. Everybody's a sinner. Are you okay there? You know, everybody sins, right? There's just no doubt about it. Yeah. And it's how often you do it, right? If you're going to procrastinate over and over and over and over and over again, that's going to lead people to eventually see that you're not procrastinating, that you're lazy.
Right. And that's how they come hand in hand. That's how.
That's it.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to organize your tasks by priority and by deadline. Okay. And look, I'm going to tell you, it's easier to get those tasks done that you don't want to do first. Right? You know what? For the longest time, like Sarah and other people that I know would always laugh at me because when I have my plate of dinner, let's just say on my plate of dinner, I had peas, I have potato salad, and I have barbecue ribs. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the peas are the most undesirable one that's on the plate. So what am I going to do? I eat those peas first. Why? Because I don't want that to be the last taste in my mouth.
Yo, can I just stop you real quick? I mean, I'm just saying, man. I do the same thing. I like my vegetables, but I still like my meat and rice more than I like my vegetables.
Yeah, and what you eating next, Dre? What you eating next? The potato salad or the barbecue ribs?
Come on, man. I'm knocking that potato salad down.
Because that barbecue ribs, I'm stuck in my fingers. That's the end.
Man.
That's the end right there, baby.
That's it. And that's why I eat my salad first. Because if I bite into my meatloaf and my mashed potatoes or whatever's on my plate, hey, man, after my palate done got ready for all this stuff going on right now. And now you want me to go backwards to a salad? I'm probably going to push that salad off to the side and say, nah, I'll pass.
Why do you think salad's an appetizer?
That's exactly why.
Funny you say that as I'm eating salad for dinner.
I love salad too, though. So don't. But it's the thing is it's just like if you got salad there or you got a cheesecake there, I'm just saying you're probably, choose the cheesecake.
Yeah, just like saying. I was gonna say, what about dessert, right?
I totally eat that cheesecake last.
Now I'm with you.
I'd totally not eat the cheesecake and only eat the salad.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever your palate has that makes you get the point. You get the point.
Yep. And the funny thing is about that, I mean, like here it is, we're talking about dessert too, right? Dessert is something that, I mean, like your mom always told you, eat your food before you get your dessert, right? Why is that? Because mama knows. Mama already knows that we want the dessert before we want the meatloaf, right? They know we want the carrot cake or the chocolate cake or the pudding before the meatloaf. So that's why mama's telling us already. Look, I'm going to tell you this much. If you ate the pudding before the meatloaf, you ain't going to die. Okay?
Right.
But that's unfavorable. That's unfavorable to you. Right? So you eat the foods that you don't want first so that you can enjoy the foods that you like at the end. And it's the same thing with prioritizing a list for you to have things that you need to do in your business, right? If you find it difficult to go live and you don't want to go live, then you're probably going to push that off to the end and you're going to use every other thing that you can do first. You're going to do a wall drop first. You're going to do a speed live first. You're going to do everything you could possibly do first. And that's if you're even working the business. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Exactly. That's even if you're working the business, because if you're not working the business, you're not going to do nothing at all.
Yep. Oh, look, Pretty Woman's on, and I've seen it 22 times, but I can't miss it. I got to watch it.
Something may have changed, Just saying.
Thank you, Crystal. Come on back.
It's all good, Crystal.
But that's the truth about this, guys, is that we're not different from anybody else. These are things that we all deal with, right? Some of us are better at handling it than others. Some of us have practiced dealing with it a little bit better than others. And some of us just need to get on and get started. Some of us just straight up procrastinate on the get, and we have no hope because we are just already in that stage where you might as well just call them lazy. You feel me? Like, yep. How many of you, not necessarily people in here, because the majority of the people that are in here are, go-getters. So I want to congratulate and applaud all of you guys for doing that.
But also hats off to them being here. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's why they're here.
Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
What about those people on your team, though, that aren't active this month? Right? How easy is it for them to be active, but yet they're not? Right? Do you think that that's on their priority list? Do you think that they're working on that activity list? Do you think that they're trying? Right now, what about you, though, that on the first of the month you got active? It shows. It shows that, yep, you may not necessarily want to get active right then and there either, but you're getting active because you know that that's a priority to you. That's a priority to your team. That's a priority to something that you need to do is get active, and you're going to get it done because that's the way we run our business. This is how we do it. Da, 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 da. Right? Surprisingly, perfectionists are often procrastinators. Did you know that? Often they'd rather avoid doing a task they don't feel they have the skills to do than do it imperfectly. Procrastinators are perfectionists or procrastinators because they know that if they don't dot the I's, cross the T's, and like if they don't do everything that they got to do in that job, that they're not going to do it. They're not doing it right. So a lot of times they don't even hit that task until they know for a fact that they're going to hit it and do it all the way through because they are perfectionists. Go ahead, Helen.
That is or was me to a T, and Faith too. We it's one thing I was trying to procrastinate on this because we didn't have a place to do it. We didn't have anywhere to store the jewelry, you know, and I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted that bling barn out there that we just got before we ever started. Yeah.
Right.
We couldn't have gotten it without starting somewhere, you know?
Yep. Exactly. Another major cause of procrastination is poor decision making. If you can't decide what to do, you'll most likely put off taking action in case you do the wrong thing. Right? If you can't decide what to do, you're usually going to pick the most enjoyable thing to do. Right? If you can't decide whether or not you want to do laundry, if you want to mop the floor, or if you want to go do a live, 9 times out of 10, you're going to do whatever it is that you're more comfortable with doing. And that's the one you're going to pick. You need to go by priority rather than trying to work your list of things that you want to do over things that you need to do. Does that make sense? I may have said that a little weird.
Priority over enjoyability.
Right. Anybody have any questions so far? We're good? Okay. Step 3 is adopt anti-procrastination strategies, right? Now we're going to go out on the defense. Now we're going to learn how to huddle and come up with a strategy that's going to get us through these things that we procrastinate on. Procrastination is a habit, a deeply ingrained pattern of behavior. Remember, we talk about habit stacking, taking bad habits and replacing them with good habits and doing it over and over and over again and stacking your habits to create good habits and give you good results. This means that you probably can't break it overnight because habits only stop being habits when you avoid practicing them, right? So just stopping at one time isn't going to break a habit, right? You're still going to be in the habit of saying it. How many of you choose to occasionally use profanity by mistake or by choice? And then when you're around certain people, oops, because you just have that habit, right? But now if we would train ourselves to not have that habit, then the chances of that happening would be a lot less likely, right? But we don't necessarily do that. What about the 7 or 8-year-old kids that finally learn a cuss word, right? And all of their friends are using the cuss word. And then next thing you know, they shout it across the yard and their mama hears it, right? Oh, no, I didn't mean for it to be that loud. Right? But we have those bad habits that we need to adjust. Every one of us does from every age.
That's like,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead. I'm just going to keep on going on. So unless you stop me.
I was going to, yeah, true. Freight train, break.
Right.
The compound effect talks about doing that, about replacing the bad habits with good ones and doing that over time. You will see the big return. You know, at first you'll see pennies on the dollar, so to speak, but then, you know, 5, 10, 20 years, that compounded effect is huge.
Definitely. Definitely. And it only takes small habits to change a whole day, right? I mean, like if you're a cigarette smoker and you smoke 15 cigarettes in a day, can you imagine the time that you're not holding a cigarette if you quit smoking? And so tomorrow, I'm going to have 15 different sessions of about 7 or 8 minutes that my hand isn't full of a cigarette and I'm inhaling and exhaling smoke that I could be putting towards something else because I'm not smoking, right? And smoking is not necessarily a good habit. So if I were to quit smoking to do something that was more productive for me, like let's just say instead of having a cigarette, I decided that I was going to read a Bible verse or listen to a song, you know, or do something that is completely different than smoking that cigarette, and I relieve that habit out of my daily task of things to do. Eventually, I won't be driven off of that habit no more. Eventually, I'll be used to the fact that I don't necessarily have to follow that habit to be able to continue my day. But is it easy? No. Trust me, I guarantee you that that very first day that you decide that you're not going to have that cigarette in your hand, you're going nuts. And believe it or not, that 7 or 8 minutes without that cigarette in your hand and that smoke in your lungs is going to make you feel like you're suffering, right? And then the next day, it's going to get a little easier and a little easier and a little easier until eventually it's not so hard. And you're still going to want that cigarette. You're still going to want to continue that habit, right? Why do you think it's so hard for so many people that are addicted to drugs and alcohol or porn to be able to break those habits? Because those habits are what they live off of. They're what they're used to, and it's their go-to. It's their sense of relief, right? How many people that you know smoke cigarettes tell you they smoke cigarettes because it calms them down or relaxes them, right, June? Yep, exactly. My mom right now has just been diagnosed with lung cancer, and she's also got cancer of her what's the word? Well, her trachea and her larynx. She's got a severe cancer.
Esophagus.
Yeah, and she's got a severe cancer, but the cigarette was more important at the time. Now, of course, she was always afraid of having lung cancer, but she just didn't think it would happen to her, right? And then once you finally have it, it's too late. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't just go back and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to smoke those cigarettes." You knew fully well that could happen. Just like you know that if you're not following the practices that you need to follow and you're breaking the habits of doing the things that you need to do on a regular basis for your business, you're going to eventually start breaking those habits down too, and you're not going to get those things done. And eventually your business is going to be sitting on the wayside waiting for you to get back to it as a priority on the list. Right? Anybody got that? You feeling that? Waiting for that to come back as a priority because you're the one that dropped the ball. Right? That business didn't drop the ball on you. The business didn't say, "Hey man, you know what? We don't want you to show our jewelry tonight. We don't want you to do any of that. We want you just to go ahead and relax and take time for yourself. We're going to be here for you another day." Commit to the task. Focus on doing and not avoiding. Writing down the tasks that you need to complete and specify a time for doing them. This will help you proactively tackle your work, right? Again, it's all about organization, taking control, and doing what you need to do. Promise yourself a reward, right? Didn't we just talk about that, Helen? Promise yourself a reward.
Yes.
If you completed a difficult task on time, reward yourself with a treat, such as a slice of cake or a coffee from your favorite coffee shop. And make sure that you notice how good it feels to finish things. right? Don't some of us do that already if you're dieting on a regular basis and then you have your cheat day, right? Your cheat day is your reward day. It's because you know
Yes,
you need to
indeed.
reward yourself for putting off those things. Sorry. What'd you say, Helen?
I was agreeing with you. Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Ask somebody to check up onto you, right? Right, Angie? Accountability partner. Peer pressure works. This is the
Yes,
principle behind self-help groups. If you don't have anyone to ask, an online tool such as a procrastinator can help you self-monitor, right? That's why AA has sponsors, right? Because they know that these tasks that we're talking about right now aren't things that you can easily manage yourself. If you drink alcohol and if you find it hard to not drink alcohol, then you're going to need somebody to give you some support once in a while and talk you off that ledge. Right? But you need to make sure that you're getting somebody that's the right support. You need to make sure that you're getting somebody that's going to talk you off that ledge and not somebody that's going to tell you that it's okay to be on the ledge. Because it's not. Act as you go. Tackle tasks as soon as they arise rather than letting them build up or over another day. And rephrase your internal dialogue. The phrase needs to be, I need you. I'm sorry. Did somebody say something?
Yeah, it was me, Chris. Hey, I'm gonna eat dinner with the family, but this is a really good conversation. I'm like not wanting to get off of here because this is really good. So as soon as we're done eating, I'm gonna jump back on if you guys are still on. So keep doing what you're doing. Everybody that's on here, you're doing a great job, and I'm proud of you for being here. And let's keep it cracking.
Amen.
Thanks,
Yes,
Andre.
sir.
Enjoy your
No
meal,
problem.
brother.
Okay, we'll
Thank
do.
you, Andre.
Thank you.
So you got to change that internal dialogue. The phrases need to and have to, for example, imply that you have no choice in what you do. This can make you feel disempowered, might even make you feel self-sabotage. However, saying I choose to implies that you own the project and can make you feel more in control of your workload, right? Does that make sense? I choose to, I get to, I want to, rather than I need to, I have to. Those are things that will change your mental outlook on them. Then minimize distractions. Go ahead, Samantha. Did you have something to say? No? Okay.
Nope. Sorry. I was talking to my son.
That's okay. I just saw the hand go up for a minute.
Yeah. I talk with my hands a lot.
That's so good. Minimize distractions. Turn off your email and social media and avoid sitting anywhere near a television while you're working. Well, that doesn't necessarily work for us because we work off of our phones more than anything, right? Or our computers. But you get the gist of this, right? If you're supposed to be doing your work, then you probably shouldn't have Judge Judy on at the same time. Because not only do you know that it's going to be a distraction, but it's probably going to be a tool for you to procrastinate. Right? How many of you guys realize that Judge Judy's only a 23-minute program? 23 minutes is all Judge Judy is. But that 23 minutes goes by like that. There's enough time for 2 court cases, right? So if you missed the first court case, you're going back and you're rewinding it again because you didn't pay close enough attention. So let's not do that. Let's do what we need to do on our list of things that need to be done. And so that way, when we watch that, we're not wasting 8 minutes of our time to go back and play it again. Right? Does that
Sam's
make
got her
sense?
hand up, Chris.
Go ahead, Samantha.
Okay. I'm one to, while I'm doing things, even when it comes to my business and things like that, is I'm always have something playing in the background, whether it's, and usually not like Judge Judy, but I always put on something that is either music that I like or a movie that I'm absolutely in love with that I've seen so many different times that I could say it word for word and don't have to watch it, is one of my big things. It's kind of like a comfort, gets me in the zone thing. So I don't know if other people are like that. Like my go-to movies is Harry Potter. So I will play Harry Potter in the background while I'm doing everything else that I'm doing. It's just, it's a comfort thing for me. So it may not be like a show that you want to watch, like the Judge Judy. And maybe it's something that you've seen so many different times that it could just play in the back and not affect anything. So I've also found with my anxiety and stuff, watching new things really spikes my anxiety. So I have to watch something that I've already watched because I already know what happens.
Yeah.
So
I do that. I do that same thing with music. Like, with my day job, I have to do a lot of documentation writing. And so I'll just have my headphones in and go to town with music, and I can bang out documents left, right, sideways. So that's my thing.
And did you have something to say, hon?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Samantha, I do the same thing too. I like to watch a lot of the like scary things that happen or whatever, but they're like mysteries, unsolved mysteries. But I'm thinking that's not so much a positive thing, it's more of a negative thing. And I also am the same way where I do watch a movie like Castaway is a go-to movie for me. Forrest Gump, those comfort movies that you can fall asleep to. So, I mean, if that motivates you, that's great. But I feel like that really slows me down. It really does. And I mean, I think if you're comfortable working at your own pace, but I think the point what Chris is trying to do here with us is to kind of get us out of those things that we're used to, those comfort zones. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to be successful in this business. I want to be successful in this business. I want to be a six-figure earner. Well, do you think the six-figure earners are watching those types of shows or whatever, or that movie to keep them in their comfort zone? So I kind of feel like I want to step out of that comfort zone where I'm not necessarily having that show in the background or that song in the background. It's like when you're doing your homework, back in the day and you had to have music. Well, either way, it's still a distraction. You know what I mean? And then you start like your mind starts to wander, because I squirrel a lot. I really do. It's very sad how much I squirrel. And I think that squirrel can be controlled a lot more if I was to just focus more on the task at hand. On the task at hand. So I think if it's working for you, Chris, I don't know, would you agree that if it's working for you and if that's kind of where the pace you want to go? Because everybody's pace is different. Not everybody has the same pace.
That's just the way I see it too, is that everybody's different, and if that does work for you, that's great. And it's about discipline too, right? Mm-hmm, but here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing that you got to be really, really careful, Samantha and Angie both, is that you've got to be sure that, are you being disciplined? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, if you're putting on, say, Jerry Maguire because you've watched it a million times and because now you can do your work and you're just mildly focused on Jerry Maguire, is it enough to take your attention away, or are you disciplined enough to continue doing your work while that distraction is there? Me personally, I can't listen to music and read a book, but my daughter, she'll put her iPhones in and she'll turn on her music full volume and she'll read her book. And me,
oh, wow.
If I'm trying to do that, I have no idea what I just read. So yeah, it all depends on the person themselves and how they can do it, and what works for you, because what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa.
Right, absolutely. I'm gonna have to head out, you guys, but I love you all. Thank you for the community. Thank you for the great wisdom Chris imparted to us today. I need to get on my horse. I need to get back on my horse, and I need to get rid of distractions, and I need to focus and not get into that same pattern that I get into constantly with every job that I have. That's what I feel,
Right.
And so, but I appreciate you. What time are you on tomorrow, Chris?
Tomorrow will be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Got it. Okay, cool. So see you all at 7 p.m. tomorrow.
All right. You have a good day, hon.
You. Have a blessed night. Okay, God bless. Bye-bye.
So we do have a couple more topics here, and then we can get into some regular free session talking. I do want to continue this though for those that are going to watch this in full YouTube later. I don't want to just end it now. So we're going to continue on, but we're going to probably go a little quicker. I'm going to say aim to eat an elephant beetle first thing every day. Okay? Aim to eat an elephant beetle the first thing every day. Does anybody have any idea what I mean there?
No clue.
Okay, how about find the tasks that are least pleasant out of the way early? All right, so if eating an elephant beetle to you would be least pleasant, well, then some of the other tasks that you have might just be as unpleasant as eating an elephant beetle. So you do those tasks first and foremost. Get them out of the way, get them done, get them over with, and don't ever have to spend another moment of your day thinking about that task. You've done it, it's over with, and now you can move on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, because I know you were questioning it.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck is an elephant beetle and why would you eat it?
Right.
Well, yeah, now that he explains it, yeah, I get it. But yeah.
I love it. Okay, so here's a tip for you. Okay, an alternative approach is to embrace the art of delay, right? The art of delay. Embrace the art of delay. Research shows that active procrastination, that is deliberately delayed getting started on something so you can focus on other urgent tasks, can make you feel more challenged and more motivated to get things done. This strategy can work particularly well if you are someone who thrives under pressure. However, if you do decide to actively procrastinate, be sure to avoid putting your coworkers or anyone else under unpleasant circumstances. That make sense? How are you today, Kimberly? You good?
I'm doing good.
Good deal. Good deal. So I'm going to continue on here. If you're procrastinating because you find a task unpleasant, try to focus on the long game, right? Try to focus on what's going to happen once I get that done. If, say, I'm trying to think of something. Gosh, I don't even know. We're just going to go ahead and, if you procrastinate, wait, where'd it go? Oh, darn it.
Squirrel.
If you're procrastinating because you find a task unpleasant, try to focus on the long game. Research shows that impulsive people are more likely to procrastinate because they are focused on short-term gain. Combat this by identifying the long-term benefits of completing tasks. For instance, could it affect your annual performance review or end of the month bonus? Right? How many of us are that are in paparazzi are going for life of the party? Right? So if you're going for life of the party and you know you only have 5 weeks left, you don't have too long to procrastinate. Right? If you want to put money to your life of the party and you want to succeed, then unfortunately, you probably better get started. You know, and that's why we're going to talk about getting started at the first year to hit those long-term goals. Another way to make a task more enjoyable is to identify the unpleasant consequences of avoiding it. For instance, what will happen if you don't complete the work? How much might it affect you or a person or a team within the organization? Right? So you're not trying to get that goal and you're not trying to help everybody else achieve that goal, then how is that affecting the team? At the same time, it can be useful to reframe the task by looking at its meaning and relevance. This will increase its value to you and make your work more worthwhile. It's also important to acknowledge that we can often overestimate the unpleasantries of a task. So give it a try. You may find that it's not bad as you thought after all, right? One of those things like mom telling you to eat your broccoli and you don't want it, you don't want it, you don't want it. But then mom's drizzled a little bit of nacho cheese on it. Now it kind of looks like you might want it, but at the same time, you know that you don't like broccoli. So you're like, no, 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 but you don't mind the cheese. So you quickly take a bite of the broccoli because you want to go ahead and try the cheese. And you're not so sure that you're going to like it, but you go ahead and make that move, right? Because it's a little bit different now. Now you can decide on how you feel about that broccoli now that it has cheese on it. Keep a to-do list. This will prevent you from conveniently forgetting about all those unpleasant and overwhelming tasks, right? Prioritize your to-do list using methods that will enable you to quickly identify the activities that you should focus on, as well as the ones you can ignore, right? So if you've got a bunch of tasks on there that you need to do, and what are we going to do if we need to do that task? What do we typically do? We either underline it or we put a star by it, right? Or we circle it, right? That's important, and that needs to be done. Tackle the hardest tasks at your peak times. Do your work better in the morning or in the afternoon? Identify when you're most effective and do tasks that you find most difficult at those times. Set your time board or set yourself time-bound goals. Setting yourself specific deadlines to complete tasks will keep you on track to achieve those goals and will mean that you have no time for procrastination. Does that make sense? If you set yourself a goal that you need to get this done by 10 o'clock tonight, that leaves you less time to procrastinate because you have something to be doing right now. Every time you look at your watch, you should be looking at, oh, it's closer to 10 o'clock. Let's see. Use tasks and time management apps. Just so you guys know, there's lots of time and management apps. There's Calendly if you want to have something for your calendar. Trello, an online organizer. Toggle's an online organizer. You can check them out and you can definitely use them, and you can even plug them into, you could plug those into this type of program, right? So use those task management apps.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank
we
you.
was just talking about using task and time management apps such as Calendly or Trello or Toggle, any of those things, for example, to help you organize and file your priority list of things that need to be done.
Oh, that's a great idea. I never used any of those, but Marissa uses Calendly, and any kind of time management is important because wasting time it can be habitual. You know what I mean?
Right. How many of you guys ever had that 15-minute appointment that seems like it's going to take so much time out of your day? And then when you go to that 15-minute appointment, they're 5 minutes late. And then once they get there 5 minutes late, they're not ready. They don't have their game on, right? And so now they're dragging their feet while you're trying to hurry up and get this done because you are priority driven. You are task driven. You will be a billionaire. You will be an entrepreneur. You will be a business owner, right? And so you have prioritized your list. And now you're wasting your time because this knucklehead doesn't have his stuff together. How are you going to feel
so
about
funny.
that?
That's so funny that you should just mention that, because I just talked to a buddy of mine and he was telling me one thing that helped him, it changed for him, is he wrote down, I am blank. I am blank. And he wrote a list of these things that he was saying that I am a business owner. I am a millionaire. And you know what? He said that, you write these things down and then you say them to yourselves, 2-3 times a day. And he says that it's like what you put out there in existence that's what comes back to you. And he was telling me about that. I'm actually going to make my list tonight.
And I like that you brought that up, because think of it this way too. If you look at your list of things that you need to do and you realize to yourself that like you're not going to get this done and you're not going to get that done, okay, instead of saying I am a business owner, instead of saying I am an entrepreneur, why don't you tell yourself I am a procrastinator? How are you going to feel about yourself if you're admitting to yourself that you're procrastinating because you don't have the simple tools to be able to do that task at hand? Right? If you tell yourself straight up, like, I am the procrastinator, this is my fault. Take blame for what you're doing in your business or not doing in your business that's going to get you to that next level. Right? Me and Dre talked a long time ago about how some people in this business tend to watch other people in the business and they expect the same outcomes and results as other people. And it's just not fair, right? How are you going to be worried about the steak on my grill while yours is burning? Right? Isn't that the one I used, Dre?
That's exactly the one. And it hurt just as bad because it's so real. You know what I mean? How you gonna worry about putting out my fire in my house? Your roof is on fire too. You know
I'm gonna
what
have
I
to
mean?
check that out, Kimberly. But yeah, that's exactly it. Like, how are you gonna worry about how my food's cooked if you don't even know how to cook your own? You got macaroni and cheese burning on the stove and your baby's just crying, but you're gonna tell me that I need to boil the water first.
Come on now. You talk about it. You're not gonna join this. You're not gonna join this marketing group or any other marketing group, and then all of a sudden be the man or woman on top. You're just not gonna do it. It's not logical. And if it was, everybody'd be doing it, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
So that pretty much wraps up what I had today for procrastination. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that at all, or thoughts? Anything that like really gravitated to you that you think, man, you know what? I catch myself doing this all the time. And what are you going to do differently about that? Right? Kelsey just said something about she's going to start using the I am. I think that's what, isn't that Kelsey that said that?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, okay. So I think it was Rebecca. Yeah.
I'm making my I am list. I'm making my I am list tonight.
Rebecca's got her hand up.
You know, guys, and just because we're in this Zoom conference right now, right? And don't forget, though, that we have a whole team out there to support. So when you come up with good tidbits or nuggets or things that help you through the day, share them with your brothers and sisters out there in the team, right? Marissa gives everybody free access to be able to put a post out there. If you feeling a little certain way about something good that you've learned in this training or in any other trainings, share it with them. Let them realize that, oh man, I missed out on that. That does sound like something that I might want to learn from.
And check this out.
Exactly, Samantha.
And check this out. How fast we just how fast and how easy it is for us to procrastinate. I just said I'm gonna make mine tonight. Why wait till tonight? Why should I wait till tonight? There's no reason I should wait till tonight. I'm gonna make it right now. As soon as we're done with this Zoom meeting, I'm about to just go ahead and do it. Because I don't want to wait till tonight and then I have another excuse that I'll have. Oh man, now I'm too tired. Right. You know what? Now I'm watching my show. My show back on. Oh, you know what? Now, I gotta get in the shower because I gotta go to bed. You know what? Because I gotta get up in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that. I'm gonna go ahead and get that started currently, sir.
I like that. And and that's just it, recognizing it and reflecting on it and then changing it. It's that easy. And when you
Chris, Rebecca's got her hand up.
Yeah, I know. I haven't got back to you. I'm sorry, Rebecca. We'll get right to you. I just wanted to finish up this topic before I lost it. Actually, I think I might have lost it.
Shoot, I'm sorry. I do that all the time.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, really, honestly, it's nothing that we haven't already said to each other right now anyway, except for what Dre was saying there about doing it now rather than doing it later. You know, it's just changing those habits, and it's changing those habits repeatedly. Remember, we always talk about consistency. We always talk about, like, you know, doing the same thing over and over and over again in a repeated fashion so that people can rely on you to be there and do what you say you're going to do. Nothing changes here, guys. We're talking about consistency from the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed. Not only in about your business, but the way you brush your teeth, right? If you only brush your teeth for 10 seconds, right, and you're not doing the swishing and the swirling, and you're not getting behind the teeth, look, you're wasting your time, right? Spend the full minute or 3 minutes and brush your teeth, and then spit it out, and then do it repeatedly every single day. And that's how you're going to prevent tooth cavities and decay, right? Doing it every once in a while is not going to solve your problem. It's consistency. Everything that we do is consistent. When you go to sleep at night, you should be going to bed at a consistent hour. You should be waking up at a consistent hour. You should be getting the same amount of sleep consistently. You should be eating the same amount of food on your plates and portion controls consistently, right? These are not things that we don't already know. It's things that we've got to learn to do. And if we can't control those itty bitty, like, simple daily tasks, it's going to make it much harder for us to put this into our business and focus that way. Rebecca, the spotlight's on you, dear. What's up?
Okay, so I liked what you said about, okay, now I lost my thought. But I liked what you said before about putting the bad, like the stuff that you like to do first, kind of like your vegetables. I'm a huge procrastinator, so a lot of it's mixed with laziness, of course. But it's hard for me to prioritize my time. I like the time setting your time thing. I just have to get in to start doing that. Like, I've been hearing about this for so long, and then, you know, I'm lazy about setting a time for myself to get the stuff done and by. The other thing I get concerned about is that I have a hard time telling people no. And I know that you guys were talking about earlier about, you know, going and doing something for other people all the time and whatnot, which is what I do. And everybody knows I don't have a job right now because I broke my foot. And so I'm out of work. I have no income, but what little supplemental insurance I get, which is very little. And so this is my only job. But there are people that know this that still want my time, and I have a hard time saying no. And they're like, well, it's not really a job anyway. You should look for a real job that you can sit down and do. And that really frustrates me right there, because it's like, but it is a real job. To me, it's a real job. It should be a real job to everybody personally, because it's your own business. But I don't know how to tell them, no, I got priorities at home first. I can get you guys later at another time. But right now I have priorities because this is my job. This is the only job I have. And it's hard to convince these people, and it's hard for me to say no. Do you have ways to get to help, to help me figure out to make myself first, instead of putting me on the back burner and putting everybody else first? Because I always put myself on the back burner.
I've got an opinion on that.
I know you do, because I got the same one. I'm sure. Go ahead, bro.
So do I.
So first and foremost, you must make you a priority. Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'll say that one more time. First and foremost, you have to make you the priority. Okay. Now listen, you have to understand. Now, first of all, I think this is a great job, a great job. It's not a job though. Job is, you clock in and go in, work, and get your bills paid, blah blah blah. This is an entrepreneurial opportunity, and this is a chance for you to write your own paycheck rather than have someone else tell you what you're or how much you're worth. Not everybody's going to understand that. Matter of fact, very few are going to understand that. Very few. Okay, so there are not many people that you come in contact with that are going to see this as the same way you see it. This your vision is few and far between. So knowing that in itself, you can't expect that from everybody. You can't expect people to. It's just like whatever your favorite food is. Let's say your favorite food is ribs. Chris was talking about ribs earlier, right? You make really good ribs. You make really good ribs yourself, right, ma'am? Okay, and so then you go to somebody else's house. You know that everybody can barbecue. Not everybody can cook in general, but barbecue is even more slim. Okay, so if you go over there, you cannot expect to have the greatest ribs of your life because you're setting yourself up for failure at that point. Okay, so it's the same way when you're talking to those people. Hey man, they're not going to get it. So explaining that to them that way, it's just not going to work. You know what I mean? So knowing that should help you go into the battle, knowing that it ain't even really one that you should have. Pick and choose your battles.
Right.
Amen.
That's good.
Amen.
Thank
And
you.
here's the thing: don't ever let somebody tell you that this isn't a business. Okay, because this is not their business, but this is your business. This is the way you can make your money. And if you, regardless of whether you're making $20 or no money at all, it doesn't matter. This business is going to rely on what you take this business to. And
Marissa's always, well, sorry to interrupt, but Marissa's always saying, they don't pay your bills, and they don't, they're not the ones that have to pay your rent and all that stuff. You do.
They don't.
So,
they don't.
And true. I have to try and remember that, Marissa's always in my head with that, like in my head every time. I got to remember, they don't pay my bills. They don't pay, for groceries for me or anything like that. It's all on me. I have to try and remember that, I'm the priority, not them. I have that sense of, guilt if I don't do it for them, because then they get all like whiny or whatever. So it's like,
I'll say this. I had a conversation with someone. It was a family member too. I had a conversation with someone, and that they had a problem with that I didn't answer my phone. Every time they call my phone, I don't answer the phone. I don't answer it enough, right? But I'm busy. I don't answer my phone a lot. Okay, it happens all the time. Right? I'll call you back. Okay, you got something to say? Send me a text message. Everybody that knows me knows. Send me a text message. I'll get it and I'll get back to you much faster. Right? Okay. So, but the problem is, I was like, okay, so you want me to answer my phone? Why don't you ever answer your phone? You don't ever answer your phone. I had to ask him, are you gonna pay my phone bill? No. Oh, you're not gonna pay my phone bill? No, I'm not paying. Okay, so then I'm gonna pay my phone bill, and I'm gonna answer it when I so choose to answer it. And that's what I'm gonna do. And if you want me to answer my phone consistently for you, go ahead and pay that bill for me. I'll go ahead and answer it.
Oh, that's so good. I like that. Wow.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know about you, but my memory sucks. It's just terrible.
Oh, it does.
So
My
trying to
memory
remember things, trying to remember things is terrible. So suggestion, a whiteboard. The great ideas and the things that you need to remember, get a whiteboard, bullet point it, write it down, outline, whatever you want to do, but write it down and put that whiteboard where you will see it. Okay?
I love
that will help.
Whiteboards are everything. I love whiteboards because when you use whiteboards to goal set, you see them every single day. You know what else is a good whiteboard? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a little invasive, so some people don't want to do it, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. The best whiteboard you can have is your bathroom mirror with a dry erase pen. Because
that
guess
was
what?
Exactly what I was gonna say.
You're gonna see it every single morning. And if you want to hold yourself accountable, hey man, That's the best way to do it. You're gonna see it every morning when you brush your teeth, right? Well, I hope you see that.
Better
Hope you see it
yet,
every morning.
better yet. I got one up on
Post-it
you,
notes
Andre.
on the bathroom mirror.
Put that whiteboard where the people who are constantly over there wanting your attention can see it and say, you know what? This does not align with these goals. I'm sorry. If it doesn't align with my goals, I don't have time for it. Simple as that. Simple as that. If it doesn't align with your goals, you don't have time for it.
That's true.
Exactly.
So true.
So that other one, if you don't have a whiteboard, I just went and spent some money. I don't know, like maybe $20 or something, and got myself a laminator, laminate a bunch of things. So I laminated like lists of chores that my kids have to do and put them up on the cork board so that they know this, when you're cleaning this room, this is what you have to do, da 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 da, or this is what I'm expecting from this room. So if a whiteboard won't work, maybe getting a little laminator might work.
Hey man, that's some parenting tips right there. That's a good tip. I might do that for my kids. I like that.
I have a laminator.
Also keep in mind, any office supply store, Office Depot, Office Max, so Staples, any of those places, they will laminate papers for you there too.
You know, and I
Another
love
thing
You're muted.
another thing you can do is let everybody know, okay, I've got this business that's going to take me where I need to go. I have time available between, or I don't have time available between this and this. That's when I'm going to be focusing on my business. So I'm not available for anything. And if you let them know ahead of time, then they'll stop asking you during that time frame.
Yep.
So if you say,
No,
I'm not available, just like, a regular job, you're not available from 9 to 5 because you're at work. Well, this is still your business. It's a job. It's your work. So you're not available between this time.
And the key to driving that home is when they call, don't answer the phone. Because if you
Absolutely.
if you answer the phone, even just to say, hey, I told you I can't talk, even if it's just for that, they're going to know next time you're going to answer too.
I know.
There's this wonderful thing.
Look,
There's
and I
this
love
wonderful
the idea
thing.
of the
Do
whiteboard.
not disturb mode.
I love the idea of the whiteboard, right? But you know what I like most about the whiteboard? Is that it's very easy to erase something when you're done and change it to something new.
Yes.
Right.
You don't have to have tablets of paper laying around that you've crossed off this and rewrote that. You can work your whiteboard on occasion every day and just keep cycling through the list of things that you have to do. And the mirror is another good one, but I also like the refrigerator.
Another good one is using sheet protectors. So you can write out what you need to do, put it inside a sheet protector, hang it on the wall. And that way it's easy to change out every day. You can actually write on it with a dry erase marker and erase it if you need to. And it's
now you're just being silly clever.
We actually have these, we put 3M hooks up on our doors, and we put, unavailable, on it, currently unavailable. And we write on there when we're currently unavailable, and then we flip the sign over when we're done. And it's basically our do not disturb to somebody walking up to us and asking us for something. Although some people have a habit of ignoring it, and other people have had to put on door locks. Just saying.
That's awesome, guys. I love this idea sharing. This is a beautiful thing right here. I love it.
I'm telling you, if we had this, if Chris had this going when we first signed up, we would be in a totally different place than where we are right now. I am so glad that he started doing this.
And you will be in a totally different place now that we do have it too. So
absolutely.
It's helped already.
It's so good.
Totally.
So good. Thank you, Chris. I just want to say thank you, Chris, for this, man. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
sir.
all you guys. Hey, trust me, I couldn't do this if it weren't for you guys coming here and talk to me. I'd be bored out of my mind. Hey, but
he'd probably be better at his video games.
Nope, I won't be playing them anyway. But hey,
that's
listen,
why we're family.
While we have Samantha here, though, I would like to take a little bit of an advantage of having so many of us in here, and I'd like to just talk to her just a little bit about paparazzi. Samantha, do you have a moment for that? So my first question to you is, do you have any questions about paparazzi? What's your biggest thing you want to know? And Dre, you look like you had something you wanted to say.
Nope.
Was there? No.
No, I'm just listening.
I think my biggest one was I did do, and this one I had asked Helen before as well. I did do a direct sales of Pure Romance before, and ended up having to stop doing that because they required, I don't know, like a monthly thing of like $200 a month that I had to spend in product or something like that. Is there something like that here as well?
Great. I'm glad you asked. So I know any of us can answer, but just to make it a little quicker, I'm going to go ahead and answer you that not necessarily for you to be because once you sign up as a consultant, you have to purchase 100 pieces through your back office or website per calendar year. Okay. Rolling calendar year. But the good thing about this though, is that we teach you to separate your money from the very get-go. So the minute you sign up with your business plan and you buy your kit, from that point on, you separate your money. And then you take the money that you earn from your business. When you start selling your jewelry, you take that money and you immediately invest it right back into buying the jewelry. Okay. You don't use it on Burger King. You don't use it to pay your kids' diapers. You don't use it for a car payment. You use it for the first 3 to 6 months solely on your business. And if you do that, you're going to build yourself a viewing audience of regular customers. Okay. And the more consistent, the more that you do what we tell you to do in these trainings, the more beneficial this will be for you. But you take that money that you get from your jewelry sales and you reinvest it right back into your jewelry. And if you do that for that period of time, what's going to happen is you're going to get your inventory, you're going to get your regular viewing audience, and then you're going to start having extra money on there that you could start using to pay some of your business related bills, such as like your cell phone bill or your internet. And then that's going to help free up your pocket money.
Okay.
Right.
That makes.
And so the goal here is to separate your money and not use your baby's milk money to buy jewelry and not using your jewelry money to buy your baby's milk. Okay. That's key to this. And in this training that we give you, there's a lot of different tips and tricks and tools that we're going to go over as you become a consultant, such as if you buy 15 pieces of jewelry, it gives you enough money, or if you sell 15 pieces of jewelry, that gives you enough money to buy 25 pieces of jewelry. Okay. Every 10 pieces of jewelry that you buy in paparazzi, you get a free piece of jewelry given to you from paparazzi to add to your inventory. That's money in your pocket. Okay. Free. Okay. The jewelry comes out 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, except for major holidays, which means that if you've dealt with Pure Romance or Sensi or any of these other groups, they have a particular amount of products that come out on a regular basis, and that's it. Nobody has the opportunity to have other object or other product that the other consultants don't readily have available to them as well. Where with paparazzi, we sell repeatedly and like literally we all have a fingerprint in our business, because I guarantee you none of us that are in here have the same pieces of jewelry. We may have a lot of similar pieces and we may have a lot of duplicate pieces between each other, but I guarantee you that my collection is different than Andre's, it's different than Kimberly's, it's different than Rebecca's, and everybody in here has a completely different jewelry. So we're never ever competition with each other, right?
Ever,
and this is $5 jewelry.
Yeah.
And this is $5 jewelry.
And I love that it's $5 because it doesn't matter who you are, you can afford $5.
Right. So to answer your question, every month, like on June 1st, June 1st is going to be a brand new month for us. So on June 1st, we all start at a 0 level. We have no sales. We have no no new inventory acquired that month. And we basically have to reactivate or get active in June, starting on June 1st. And now to get active, it only takes purchasing 25 pieces of jewelry. And you don't even have to do it. You can even have customers go to your website that's free to you. Your website is free. They can go to your website and they can buy jewelry. And that jewelry will count towards your 25 pieces of jewelry that you need to be active. Now, the reason why being active is so important, though, not only for your team, but for you, is that, okay, when you buy the kit, you've basically bought you a chair, okay? And in the big production of paparazzi, right? You've bought your seat. But if you're not active, you're not in that seat. You have to be active and an active consultant so that you can actually be sitting in the seat doing your job as the rest of us are, to actually count in any kind of numbers for the team or for yourself. Okay, so for instance, if Helen and Faith, if you sign up under Helen and Faith, then when you get active, that means that Helen and Faith have a consultant that is actively working underneath them, and they're acquiring their points because you're actively working your business, and yet so are you. And it's going to be just as important for you when you get people to sign up under you, for them to be active as well. Okay, and we're talking about 25 pieces of $5 jewelry. We get it for $2.75 in our back office. So let's just say $75 order every month. Okay, is all it takes for you to be able to make sure that you can maintain this business and get your free website and get your 45% commissions and get your ranks within the teams and help Helen and Faith out. So if you think of it like this, your side hustle, you say you bought in for the smallest kit, right? Let's say you buy in for the smallest kit for $99. As long as you continue to keep that $75 per month coming into your back office, it doesn't matter at that point what you do and what you don't do outside of what you personally want to achieve in your business. As long as you're getting active every single month, then you're fulfilling the requirement that we all ask you to do as a consultant. So your next question is going to be, well, what happens if I don't get active? Am I right?
Right.
Absolutely nothing. Unless you go for the 12 months without buying any jewelry, you will eventually get canceled. Okay, but you're not doing your business any good, and you're not doing Helen and Faith any good if you're not getting active.
Right.
Okay. So it is important for you to get active, but nobody's going to come slap you on the wrist and take your keys. Okay, like Pure Romance, they're not going to come. We're not going to come behind you and say, "Hey, you didn't get active, and now you need to pay, so much money for you to be able to have access to your website again." It doesn't work that way with us, luckily. Okay. Now there is a perk that if you're active, then Web Paparazzi will make sure that you're searchable through their search engine. If a customer wants to shop with somebody in your area, they can search paparazzi in your area and you could come up if you're active. If you're not active, they won't put you out there because they don't want to send people to people that aren't working their business.
That makes sense.
Also, if you're not active and you're working your business, you're team building, you have a team, you will get a commission check. But if you're not active, you won't receive that commission. However, if you're working your business, you're going to be active regardless. So that's neither here nor there, right?
Right.
Something else I want to mention, Sam. A lot of people will sit there and automatically, once they hear Chris say it's pyramid scheme, and there's a bad rap to that, right? That is not the case, right? In this, everybody starts over and has to re-rank just like the brand new consultant every month.
Everybody.
You, if you signed up under us, could surpass us, and that's okay in levels. Totally happen. In a normal pyramid scheme, can't do that. If you rank up, we rank up. That is not the case with this company.
Okay.
Yeah, Helen and Faith could totally be lazy and not do much at all with their business, but you are a go-getter and you start signing people up and you can pass them up. You can pass me up. You can pass Dre up. You can pass any of us up according to your own potential.
You can pass anybody up in this company. The highest rank at the moment is impressionista. What is it? Not impressionista. What, Chris, help me. It's impressionista.
The highest rank right now would be something like Maven Jet Setter.
No, impressionista.
Or Luke's Jet Setter.
No, there's impressionistas higher than that. So there's another one above impressionista. I know it is, but you can pass that person too. So if they,
it would be
rank,
Luke's Jet Setter though. It goes fashionista, impressionista, and then Luke's Jet Setter.
Go ahead, Faye.
Now, I was watching a training that Trent Kirby did, and he was the first ever paparazzi consultant. And he was talking about how one of his downlights, one of his personal sponsors, is a higher rank than he is. So that just goes to show you. What was that?
It's very common.
I said that's common.
Oh, yeah. So it just goes to show you that where you go in this business is based off of your work and your work alone.
Yeah, like I guarantee you that the person that's consultant number 00001, that person is not making as much money as somebody else further down the line. Like that person's not the highest paid person in here. So yeah, pyramid schemes are definitely not like what we do. So that stigma is definitely not something that you need to be concerned about with this company.
Okay.
So with that being said, though, I pretty much just covered a whole lot of it, and the fact that you do get a free website, you do get free jewelry when you order jewelry. You do need to be active if you want to, be actively participating as a consultant. So with all that being said, is there anything that you feel like that you now have a question of? Like, is there anything that would concern you? Like, what would keep you from joining paparazzi? I don't know if she's still there.
I think she froze.
I think so too, or she's sticking her tongue out at me, one of the two.
I think she froze, yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Well, let's give her a minute to catch back up. Oh, she just left, so she'll be coming back in, hopefully. Let me send her another invite. Or Faith, can you? Because I don't have her on my list. Rebecca and Dee, Kelsey.
Yeah, I just messaged her.
I appreciate all you guys coming in here. I know, we may be talking about a whole lot of things right now, but if you have something that you'd like to say at any time, make sure you just throw that raised hand up. Thank you, Dee. So, look, guys, we have less than 5 weeks left of this month, of this year, right? Paparazzi year. We've got just a few weeks left. And I encourage you all to not wait until June 1st or July 1st, to start planning your next year. Samantha, you made it back.
Sorry, I lost my internet. I had to go to Wi-Fi or mobile hotspot on my phone.
That's okay. So I was asking you though, after knowing what we've just told you right now, what are your reasons for not joining paparazzi? Break it down a little bit for us so we could kind of see where your head is.
The only thing that I think I want to do some research to see if I can do both of them at the same time, because I do sell Mary Kay products. So I want to see and make sure there's no rules in paparazzi and no rules in Mary Kay that says I can't sell them at the same time.
I can't speak for Mary Kay, but I can tell you that there are rules in paparazzi. Would anybody like to share that information with her?
So there are no rules from Mary Kay either, because we've had consultants. We had a consultant that was doing both Mary Kay and paparazzi. The only thing with paparazzi, so Mary Kay doesn't have a rule against it specifically.
Okay, go ahead.
The only thing with paparazzi is you cannot sell both on the same page. So you'll want to have a Mary Kay page and a paparazzi page on Facebook. If you do an event like if you go to an event, you need to have Mary Kay and paparazzi on separate tables.
Like,
okay.
They need to be separated, like, in every way. If you're doing it live and you're showing your paparazzi jewelry, you do not want to mention any other products, right? Paparazzi is, you know, they spend a lot of time on their brand and their company image, and they don't want other people's company images to reflect on paparazzi. And unfortunately, a lot of direct sales companies, even though they have great products and they may have wonderful leaders and teams, we don't want to be in the same category as another direct sales company, because we are quite different than most all direct sales companies, right? So we don't want you to, you know, necessarily say, hey, look, guys, look, this is a new necklace. And remember that Mary Kay, that concealer that I sold last week? It would look great with this and blah. No, we can't do that. You know, we can't sell on, like, if for instance, if you decide, the first thing you're going to want to do if you sign up with paparazzi, when I encourage you to do so, is you're going to want to decide which one you want to be your main business. Okay. And at first, it may be what you're already doing just because you're familiar with it. But I will guarantee, I don't want to say guarantee you, but I will tell you that most all of these people that have ever done any other direct sales marketing company started with that thought that, okay, I'm a Scentsy rep, so I'm gonna do paparazzi completely separate, and I'm gonna do Scentsy as my main thing. They changed that real quick, okay? Because you can make so much more money, so much more faster off of paparazzi, that we would encourage you, and it's something that you're gonna want to do anyway, but we try to save you time, right? Everything we talk about doing are things that's gonna benefit your business and timestamps, okay? So if I have to wait 2 months for you to figure out that paparazzi is an easier sell than Scentsy or another product, then now I've just disserviced you, because I just gave you 2 months to have to figure that out for yourself, when I could have fed you faster results by just flat out telling you that jump into this $5 business and make it be your priority, and it will become your priority. You need to understand too that, like, have you guys ever heard of the line that says, "Jack of all trades, master of none"?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to make sure that we all know that what we're talking about, that is not necessarily as good of a thing as you may think, right? I mean, it's great to be a master of all, you know, a jack of all trades, and know a little bit about this and a little bit about that. All right. But being a master of none is where it hurts you. Right? Be a master of paparazzi, but still be a jack of all the other trades. Know those other things, but put your time and effort into paparazzi, and I guarantee you'll climb faster than trying to work 2 different businesses at one time. If you're not getting results from the direct sales company that you're in right now, then you're probably going to be doing better off with paparazzi than you will without. Right? Like you were already saying, I think we might have lost you again because you froze. We'll give it a minute. I don't want to beat the dead horse here and you guys have to hear the same things again, but I'll wait for her to snap back. So as I was saying, last time we had a little interruption here. Don't forget, guys, that we are literally like those 5 weeks away. And we don't want to wait until July 1st before we start planning our plan of attack for the following year, right? If you want to be life of the party at whatever level you want to be at, you need to start planning that now. You need to start knowing where you're going to need to be. If you want to be a certain rank or achievement next year, then you're going to want to start working those ranks and achievements now, so that you can make sure that okay, look, if July 1st comes up and you look at your schedule and it says that you need to sell, and I'm just throwing a number out there, 32 pieces every single day for you to hit gold, okay? And you wait until July 1st to do that, and then immediately July 1st, you only sell 26 pieces, and then 25 pieces, and then 24. You're already falling behind a little bit, because you didn't take the initiative to start the gun now. So if you know you need to sell 32 pieces in the month every day for the following year, start working those 32 pieces every day now. So that you've got 5 weeks to perfect being able to sell 32 pieces every day. Does that make sense? Don't procrastinate and wait until the last minute to set your game plan up. So Samantha, before you had disconnected from us for a minute, I know you are with another direct sales company, and you don't necessarily, I know you had said Pure Romance at one time, and I think you might have said another one, and you don't have to reveal it, but currently with your direct sales company now, are you making money?
Well, I just started, so I've only been doing this for a month.
Okay. And what did it take to get you involved in that company? What was their requirement?
Oh, it was $30 because it's an e-consultant. So I don't necessarily have to buy any product. I just had to make a website.
Okay. Okay. Well, and that's good to, as far as I'm concerned, to have as a backup plan. Does anybody in here disagree with me first off? Everybody agrees that, like, I would personally make that a backup plan.
Agree.
The reason I'm saying that to you, Samantha, is because we have 3 different packages to get started in your business with us. $99, $299, and $499. Okay. And I know for some people, $299 and $499 may seem like a lot of money, but let me tell you this right now. Okay. If you're buying you and your family a car, okay, do you want to buy that $600 budget car that you cannot necessarily count on as reliable, that may or may not get you to the next town or back? Or do you want to put a little bit of extra money into it and make sure that when you leave somewhere, you're getting home?
Well, I want to put more money into it.
Right. Now, but a lot of us don't have that money to put into it, right? I know I did. So what I did personally is I sold something that I didn't need no more. I sold something that, well, actually I did need it, but I wasn't using it, right? Like a lawnmower, for instance, right? If it's not the right time for a lawnmower, or say you got a snowblower in your garage and it's not snowing, sell it. Sell that snowblower, get the money, buy your kit, and then start working your business. And I guarantee you, by the time you need a snowblower again, you'll be able to buy it again.
In cash.
Okay. But remember what we just talked about, procrastination. The more you put that off, let me tell you something right now. Most people have either fear or excitement, those feelings, those same feelings, right? When you go on an amusement park ride and it's your turn to get in the seat and you're feeling sweaty and you're feeling nervous and tingly and like, oh my gosh, you're about to have a heart attack, right? Number one, because of fear, but number two, because you're flat out excited. Like you want to do it. You're anxious to do it, but you're also afraid. Do you know that the same I can't remember the word I'm looking for, but the same like hormones or whatever that's in excitement is the same that's in fear, which is the same in anxiety, which is the same in, like, they all counteract with each other. They're all the exact same thing. It just depends on your mindset on how you're thinking about it. Right? But if somebody scares you,
dopamine.
Dopamine, yeah, there you go. But that same dopamine though is controlled by whether or not you feel fear or you feel excitement, but you can easily turn that one way or the other. Right? Something that can excite you can cause you fear at the same time.
Oh yeah. I know that. I bought tickets to go skydiving.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm excited and nervous, and yeah, I totally got that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it.
I'm not jelly, but Faith is.
I want to do it.
Oh, I'm the biggest, probably one of the biggest people you'll ever meet. And if you find a parachute big enough to strap my big butt to, and you drop me out of a plane, I guarantee you I'm gonna sail. I want to skydive, no doubt about it. I want to feel the wind in my face. I want to float and be free. I want to fly like the eagle, right?
Well,
baby.
I had surprised my mom after Mother's Day and went to go visit her because she's moved to Arizona. So I surprised her by going out there, and there was a sale right out by where she was at, about $100 for a ticket that was normally $300. I snatched it right up.
There you go.
Now I have a year to use it, so now I get to go back to Arizona to use it.
Well, but you know what I like about that though, Samantha? It shows me that you're a person that's willing to take chances. It tells me that you're somebody that will do it. You know what I mean? You'll take the plunge.
Right.
So a couple of the things that I'd like to just tell you about joining with paparazzi, the things that I want you to prepare for if you decide to do that, is number one, Marissa Clark, which is Andre's wife. She is the leader of Elite Blingers. She is my upline. She's the one that I signed up with. Now I run Kingdom of Blingdom. I have 136 people on my team with me and my wife. We run Kingdom of Blingdom together. She's my backbone, and she's the one that does all of our sales. I do a lot of the training, right? Marissa has, Andre, do you know, is it like 850, 900 people?
It's almost, it's over 900 now, I believe.
So she has over 900 people on her team. And then the 136 people, like I said, that we have on my team, if you get involved, like when you sign up with paparazzi, you're immediately brought into these families, right? And these training sessions that we have like right now, or in our training groups, or any of those types of networks, you're immediately going to be involved in, okay? So it's as much as you plug yourself into and as much as you're willing to learn as to how far you can go in this business. If you sign up and you decide that you don't want to learn the extra training and you don't want to be involved in the teams, then, you know, that's your choice. But we're here not only for business support, but we're here for emotional support, mental support. We're here for motivation. We're here for drive. We're here for sisterhood, brotherhood, however you want to look at it. We are dealers of hope rather than just dealers of $5 jewelry. The jewelry sells itself. We need people like you to sell the business and to sell yourself.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So Sam, like the Andre and Marissa are doing a leadership retreat in Utah next week. We're going to be driving out there. I'm like, I don't know where we're going to stay. And Marissa's like, staying with us, of course.
And you're going to be eating this delicious food I'm making for you.
Yeah, we're a little nervous. We kind of we messaged Marissa. We're like, we're picky eaters. We're kind of nervous to eat Andre's cooking, but that fried chicken you keep putting on as your, stopping video. Ribs. And you're talking about ribs. You're making us like hungry and excited, but still nervous.
I was busy watching your while you were cooking there, Andre. I was like, I wonder what he's making. I bet it's probably tastes better than the cereal I'm eating for dinner.
Well, let me tell you a little story real quick, Samantha, and Drake can help me out with this story because sometimes it takes two people to tell it. Marissa, okay, look, me and Dre, we've known each other before paparazzi. We are from the same struggle. We're from the same hustle. We had the same financial situations. We was fighting for money. We was broke. We have kids. We had to take care of our families. And back in the day, while Dre was selling chicken and macaroni and cheese, I was selling pizza balls. Right, Dre?
Yes,
remember,
sir.
we were selling pizza balls with spaghetti sauce. And
yes,
we originally started hustling that way. And when Marissa found out about paparazzi and she signed up for it, of course, she ended up telling my wife about it. And I'm not going to lie to you. I straight up said, nope. Back up. I like it.
I said no too. When she asked me, she was like, "Hey, I was thinking about signing up for this $5 jewelry thing." I'm like, "Nah, we don't need that. We're good. Don't do it." Is what I said.
Yeah, and I said I said it for the same reasons that you said earlier, Samantha. I don't want to spend, because we've done pure romance too, and I don't want to spend $250 to make sure that my account is active, right?
Right.
I don't want to buy products that I'm going to have in a bag that I'm going to hopefully sell to somebody when I find that right person.
Right.
So every business that I've ever done direct sales wise, I always had to come back later and say, man, I just spent this much money, and this much money to keep myself busy in this business, and it ain't making me nothing. So I put the kibosh on it and said, nope, it ain't happening. I found a drawer full of $300 worth of jewelry that my wife was buying from Marissa. And so finally I was like, all right, look, go ahead, sign up for it. At least this way you can buy it for the $2.75. Now remember, this story that I'm telling you here is because that same woman, Marissa Clark, and my wife, those same people, okay, Marissa has went from living here in Stockton in a house that, they got buy-in, to moving to a town a few towns over in a much nicer place, in a much safer area, a much larger expense, because paparazzi was able to provide that for them. And then now, where are they at? They're in Utah, like literally living in Utah in a brand new house that they bring people to to be able to go see the corporate office and to be able to have small little summits and gatherings and trainings, because she has worked her business so well that now she's not only being able to provide for her and her family, but she's also running a CEO business, right? Wow. She now has 900 people working underneath her. And I'm telling you this because you are no different than any of us, right? But it's maybe difficult for me sometimes because, everybody that's in these our groups, they may see Marissa as, like she's a boss, because she is a boss. But at the same time, I know Marissa as Marissa. You know what I mean? Like she's no different than us. She's just worked her butt off and now has that hustle and now owns that she has the right to call her business.
And I you can have it just the same. Already, I have lots of goals. Like I was diagnosed not too long ago with actually being allergic to the cold. So, and I live in Michigan where it snows and it's cold. So we are moving. So my goal is to have enough saved up for us to move next year. And then my bigger goal after that is my husband has been working in a factory for like cars. So JCI is where or Prince or whatever what we started with. And my goal is to get him out of that factory. He's been there for more than 20 years. So those are my two main goals.
Right. Very good. I like those goals. And here's the thing. The sooner you get involved in those goals and making those goals happen, the quicker that you're going to obtain them, or the easier it is going to be to obtain them. Listen, the thing that I want you to consider is like you just spent $30 to create a website for another company, right?
Right.
Let's just say, and this is just, I'm just spitballing here, right? Because I want you to understand the power of this. If you went and spent $100 and bought into paparazzi, I personally would almost compete with you and tell you that I would bet you would make $100 selling jewelry faster than you'll make $30 worth of selling product of whatever company it is you signed up with. I would guarantee you that I'll put 10 free pieces on the line. I'll put 10 free pieces on the line. That if you sign up with paparazzi for the $100 kit, I would bet you that you could sell $100 worth of jewelry faster than you could sell $30 worth of product from whatever company you signed up with.
Okay.
Dre, you're my
Dre, you're on
Yeah,
mute.
oh, my bad. I'll put $10 on the line too. Let's make it 20. How about that?
I'll make it another 10. That'll be 30.
Faster than I can make my $30 from my other one.
Yeah, if you sign up with this company with a $100 kit, okay, and then you work this business, I bet you'll work and sell $100 worth of jewelry faster than you could sell $30 from the other kit. Now, Helen and Faith are going to be your upline. So the way this would have to work is once you signed up, you need to get with them immediately so that they can help you separate your money and you'll be able to prove to us that you've sold those 100 pieces. Because we're not going to just take your word for it.
No, and also they're going to give you the game plan. This is the key. They're going to give you the game plan and how you're going to be able to do this. And you have to follow it to the T. Now, if you follow that, that's what's going to be able to happen for you. It's not like we expect you to come out the gate and just do this like, you're not going to come out the gate and just be like, everybody else. You got to learn like everybody else. So, but when they give you the game plan, you have to follow it. And if you follow it, it's guaranteed.
And this is what I want you to think. Are you a math person at all?
Oh, yes. I absolutely love math.
Okay, so let's do some math real quick, okay? So when you buy the $100 kit, you get $175 worth of jewelry, okay? It's 35 free pieces of jewelry that they're going to send you in the kit. Okay, so if you sell $100 worth of that jewelry and make $100 back, you still have $75 worth of jewelry sitting to the side. Now you have $100 that you can go and place an order and buy more jewelry. Plus, you're going to have 30 pieces between me, Dre, and Helen. Look, you just bought 35 pieces when you bought your kit. We're going to give you 30 just for you working your kit, right? So now, not only did you had 35 pieces of jewelry, you sold 20 pieces of jewelry. You made enough money that you could go back and buy 30 more pieces of jewelry, plus our 60 pieces of jewelry, plus the 15 pieces of jewelry that you already had left. You've now got like 90 pieces of jewelry, and you signed up for $100. Okay. Now what I want you to understand is if you keep the money separate, okay, and you do like we're telling you to do, you're going to be able to continue to keep multiplying those amounts of pieces of jewelry without taking any money from your house at all. You're not going to be taken from your bills. You're not going to be taken from your car payment. You're not going to be taken from your kids. Your business is going to buy this jewelry.
Right now, my husband's the only one with the income. I mean, like I said, I do daycare too, but that puts groceries in the house. That's about it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's just it though. Once you buy that kit and you're working this business, then the money that you already had, the money that he has, whatever, if he's the financial holder right now, that money doesn't change for you. You still continue to buy the groceries. You still continue to pay your bills. Okay. But then you keep that other money separate. And if you have that discipline and you have that consistency, you're going to turn that money faster than you can even believe it. And I would almost bet that if you signed up, like say tonight, I bet you between me and Helen and all of our help and everything that you're going to get from this business, I bet you could probably do it by Monday or Tuesday.
Also, just threw in another 10 pieces.
I was going to say, did you see Kim put in the chat? That's 40 pieces, girl.
Right.
40 pieces. I love you, Kim.
Oh, no. Thank you. Because, I believe in it so much. Day one, we sold that 99 kit. And at the time, we didn't know what hostesses were. We were just like, oh, this is a hostess. Let's open it. Let's sell it. We didn't give nothing away that day. Like, it sold. So it's definitely sells itself.
Hey, Samantha, I just want to point out something to you. This is the team that you're signing up under. This is the team you're signing up with. This is what we do. We want to help people. And this is what paparazzi wants to do. Paparazzi wants to change lives. And they have been. They've changed ours. And you know what? All we ask is once you get in and you get your life changed, you turn around and you help someone else's.
Amen. Amen. But remember,
I just want to say, let them. I just want to
Go
say
ahead,
really
Rebecca.
quick, let them help you, because literally when I could have been helped in the beginning, I've been in here in paparazzi for a year, and honestly, if I would have let people help me in the beginning instead of had the mindset of I can do this all by myself, or you know, I got this and I don't need anybody's help, I would have been in a better place by now if I would have let people help me in the beginning, if I would have let paparazzi in my world. And so
Amen.
let them help you, because I'm struggling more now than I was in the beginning, you know, because I didn't let people help me. And now I'm finally seeking the help that I need to get myself off the ground.
Exactly. See, we want to get you to the place that you want to be in the quickest amount of time possible. Rebecca, thank you so much for that, because that's sometimes not so easy to admit.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I will do it. Helen, message me when we're done. But
Yes,
I do
ma'am.
have to get over here because my phone's at 2% on the charger.
You got it, ma'am. I will message you.
Or call me or video me or whatever. I got
You
my
know it.
Well, and I want you to know that I personally want to congratulate you for making that step, because I know it's not an easy step to make, and I want you to know that we're not trying to pressure you in any means, not at all. We want you to see the bigger picture in this, but at the same time, we don't want you to lose another minute wasting time.
right.
So
And
welcome.
now I'm really down to 1%.
Okay. Well, thank
Charge
you
your
so
phone.
much, and we'll see you in future trainings.
Right. Bye.
Congratulations, hon. Mwah. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, honey.
Congratulations. Bye.
Woo!
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Thank you, guys. Oh, we love you.
Now, did you see the power of what these Zoom conferences do, not only for us, but for those that want to sign up? Look, Liz, my newest recruit, she came in here and had a discussion with all of us, and she signed up. And now Samantha came in here, had a discussion with all of us. I don't feel like any of us was giving her any extra pressure. Do you?
Nah, just answering. All we were doing is answering questions and giving information.
And look, she's signed up now. Now she's signing up as a consultant. Congratulations, Helen and Faith.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's good
cool.
stuff.
I didn't know we can bring people in that are curious about paparazzi. I'm glad to know that.
Well, and Rebecca, it's something that I've been, since I've been doing the Zoom conferences, it's something that I've been offering. What I would like to, if you decide that you want to take upon that, I just ask you to let me know in advance that you're going to bring somebody with you.
Okay.
So that way I can, kind of like today, break them into being comfortable with us and being able to speak with us freely. Like I don't want them to make up. I want them to feel comfortable in here. So that's why I didn't really say too much with her at the very beginning. I just kind of introduced each other and then went on to our topic and then kind of went back onto it. And that's the way I would like to do it with somebody that you decide that you would like to bring in.
Right. I don't have anybody right now, but in case I do.
That's okay. I'm sure you've got a chicken list and stuff. Like here's the thing, guys.
I am a big chicken, that's for sure.
Well, we have the tools and we have the power to really change our own businesses here. Like if you consider the fact that you only need 3 consultants that are active, how many of you guys want to bet that Samantha stays active? I think she has a real good understanding on what active means and what it's going to take. And I think she already knows right now that that's expected of her.
Right. I wish I had that.
Yeah, I think it's very important to set that expectation, like to be active at the very first of the month. That way, they're not really like, oh, well, what if I can't? No, just do it. Just do it. Well,
I agree. And, every single one of us that have people underneath us, every one of us can go to another leader or another person and say, I just can't seem to figure out how to make them work. Right? We know you take the horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? Well, we just got her thirsty. We just got her thirsty.
I got to do this with one more. I wish we had our Angie, not Angie that was on here earlier, in here when you were talking about procrastination. She is a lady who has given reason after reason. I'm going to sign up. I'm saving for it. And then something happens. And I think
in that messenger chat.
You were in that messenger chat with her. I think it would have been really good for her to hear that.
Well, and you know that this is recorded on YouTube, so you can definitely offer it to her to go back and watch. It may not have the same results right away, but if she watched it, took down some notes, she'd be more than welcome to come into another training with us and ask her questions, and I would gladly answer them.
Okay, cool.
So I feel good about today's Zoom conference, even though we went a little bit over the time that we normally do. We're at about 2.5 hours right now, guys, but that's showing we were productive for 2.5 hours. We did
I've been missing out.
Activities. I'm sorry?
I've been missing out. This is my first Zoom. Been missing out, I guess.
Well, Rebecca, I apologize because I thought the name Rebecca, I guess we have a few Rebeccas. So for some reason, I thought you had been in our Zooms before. I would love to know a little bit about you. How long have you been with Paparazzi, and do you have anybody under you?
A year now, and I have one person under me, and that's my sister. Actually, I just met your, I don't know if you call her your wife or whatever, Sarah.
Yeah.
I just met with Sarah in California when I was up there. Me and my sister did.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I'm not Rebecca.
That's right.
So,
okay, no, that's why you look so familiar to me then.
Yeah. So I met Sarah for the first time, and she's a sweet and amazing. But my sister was going to give up on paparazzi until we had that conversation with Sarah. And Sarah really helped to where my sister doesn't want to quit now. So, and I told Sarah that, and I said, I don't know what you said, but there was something you said that made her change her mind. And I just want to thank you, because honestly, I don't feel like I'm a good leader because I'm not leading myself. So I don't feel like I'm a good leader to my sister. And so I think that's why she feels like quitting, because I'm not even doing what I'm supposed to be doing to be a good leader. And because I always felt like I could never be a leader because I've always been the follower.
I guarantee you that what you just said right now has both me and Andre both like beep, 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 beep. Like we're right now going kamikaze on so many rebuttals that I want to tell you because your mindset is broke.
Yeah.
Your mindset is broke. You are, let's put it this way, you will be a leader. If you are not a leader right now, you will be a leader. And it doesn't necessarily have to happen overnight. It's something that you will mature into and you will mold into as you perfect your business and you start growing your team and you start implementing all the tools that we train you.
And the first thing is wanting it. If you want it, and we have all the tools to make sure you get there. You know what I mean? Like that's all we do is just train and teach and uplift and get you ladies to, the goals that you want to hit. I don't make your goal for you. You make your goal for yourself. And now it's our job to help you get there. It's your job to take the help and turn around and use the help and do what you do your part.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So Rebecca, since you've been here with us for a year now and you're just now apparently getting in touch with some of the training that's out there, I'm sure you're seeing a big adjustment from what you've been missing. So what right now would you consider to be your biggest struggle?
Talking to people. Like literally, I just
in general.
Just in general, I mean, even about the business too, really, but in general, because literally I didn't start talking until a little bit ago, and I just listened in through text out, but I don't just jump on and talk right away. So I wait and see, and maybe I should say something. I don't know. So yeah, I get nervous a lot, and people don't know it, but I do. I am shy. So
well, let me tell you that a couple of years ago, before we started paparazzi, Sarah may not have been so inclined to just casually meet up with you.
I know.
And possibly even inspire you, because she has stepped out of her box and has grown since she's been here too.
Well, I reached out to Sarah. I started watching Sarah's lives because you had come on to the Elite Blingers site one time months ago and said that Sarah's lives are really good or something like that. I don't know what you said, but you said to go watch her and whatnot. And so I did. And I started watching her lives, and I've been consistent with watching her live since. And then I had bought some things from her and stuff. And, I had made a joke about something. And then she's like, well, I can hook you up with that, help you save money and stuff. And then I private messaged her later to tell her that I'm a paparazzi consultant, because I didn't feel like it was right to say it on her live, because you just don't go and do that. So I private messaged her later and told her I was through paparazzi. But then we got to talking, and then she, I got to talking to her because I said, my upline has totally deserted me. It's like I thought she was going to be staying on here forever because she was, helping her family with bills and stuff by doing paparazzi. She was doing really good. And then all of a sudden she decides to quit paparazzi. And so I just felt lost. Honestly, at this point, I felt lost. And that was just a couple months ago, probably.
And the sad part about that, Rebecca, is that you're not the only one. Out of the 900 people that Marissa have signed up under her, and out of the 130 people that I have signed up under me, there's a big majority of people that feel left alone because their upline didn't plug them into the trainings like they needed to. And I'm going to tell you this much. It's your responsibility as an upline to plug those people in, because those people signed up with this business because they had trust in you. They didn't have trust in me. They don't know who I am. So when I approach them and say, hey, I'm the leader of this little group here, I'd like to help you with your business. The first thing they do is put up a fence and say, whoa, back off, dude. This is my business. Step away. I don't even know who you are. I signed up with Rebecca. Red alert, red alert, red alert. And those people aren't so willing to talk to me. But if you, as their upline, introduce them to the team, introduce them to the trainings, and get them learning what they need to learn through the trainings that we provide, you don't necessarily have to be any more of a leader than that.
All right.
That's the biggest thing you can do in leadership. That's the biggest thing you can do in leadership. Yeah.
Right. And I, like I said, I was talking to Sarah on Messenger and stuff for a while. And then she, reached out to you with my struggles and stuff. And then, I still got to do the whole, class training classes you got going on. But because, I have a hard time with learning and processing stuff. But I'm telling you, I'm into the road to director thing, Messenger. And I would have never done that probably if I hadn't been talking to Sarah all this time, because she's given me the confidence I needed to keep going and try to be the leader that I know I can be.
Well, then, Rebecca, I think the biggest tip if I could give you any biggest tip, it would be to mentally be aware of that and cognitively change it. And what I mean by that is, you don't need to approach every single person that's out there. You don't need to go run and talking to everybody that's out there about this business. Okay, but you can selectively view your audience and view the people that are around you and choose certain people that you may talk to the business about. And every time you do that, consider it practice. You're not looking for a yes or a no at that point. You're using this as practice, as a way to step outside the box and be comfortable with yourself and other people. The result doesn't matter at that point, right? Them saying that they want to buy your jewelry, not buy your jewelry, join your team, not join your team, go to your son's baseball game. It doesn't matter. The whole thing here is that you want to start practicing approaching other people about anything and everything. When you're walking through the grocery store and you see a lady that's just picked up an item off of the shelf, you know what? Strike up a casual conversation and push yourself to the limit and just ask her, you know what? I've never tried that before. What do you think of it? Have yourself just that little bit of conversation with somebody. It doesn't have to be about business, but talking to people that you don't normally talk to and breaking yourself out of those barriers that hold you back is going to be one of the biggest things that you could do as a business owner and as a person to grow.
Right. I have a quick question that just randomly popped in my head. So I have a friend that has bought jewelry from me, and she gets asked all the time about where she gets her jewelry and stuff. Is it okay to give her some pouches with jewelry in it to hand out for me?
It's okay to. There's nothing wrong with that. Here's the thing that you're going to want to make sure that you're aware of, though. I mean, this jewelry definitely costs you money, right? Regardless of whether it's free hostess rewards or things like that. That's, you know, I don't know that I personally would give a bunch of jewelry to somebody and trust that they know who to give it to and who not to give it to. That would help my business grow, because you don't have that personal one-on-one relationship with somebody. So what I would do is, instead of necessarily giving them pieces to give away for you, what I would do is I would hook them up with a basket, do a basket party with them. Give them 10 pieces of jewelry that you think that they would like to sell, and let them sell those 10 pieces of jewelry. And when they sell those 10 pieces of jewelry for you and they bring back that money to you, then give them a piece of jewelry for their hard work.
Okay.
And then what you should do in return is, when you go out to dinner, or when you go to pick up your kids, or when you're in the grocery aisles, whenever you seize the opportunity to give somebody a free piece of jewelry, you make it genuine between you and that person, for them to like you as a person, and for them to have that personal connection with you, for them to be able to support your business. Right? If you can't get your friends to support your business, you're not going to get friends of friends to support your business.
All right. Okay.
Starbucks is another good one too. Any drive-through is always
the
good.
bank.
The bank. That's another good one.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about drive-throughs and stuff like that. I thought that was a good idea.
And here's something that I tell everybody, Rebecca, and this is something that I don't know if you have kids pieces or not, but kids pieces don't carry TV. So what I would do,
kids pieces.
Okay. So I would take, let's say take 10 to 20 kids pieces and put them into one of your pink paparazzi bags, and put that pink paparazzi bag in your purse with a stack of your business cards. And then when you're walking around and you're doing your thing and your regular everyday thing, right? Especially since you're kind of shy and you don't necessarily like to approach people, look for the moms with the daughters, okay? And you offer to the mom, say, hey, I'm a paparazzi consultant and I sell jewelry. I would love to give your daughter a free piece of jewelry, if you wouldn't mind, just to see her smile. And if the mom says yes, yeah, the mom will typically say yes, right? So then, instead of just giving the daughter a piece of jewelry, give the daughter the bag and let her sift through the bag and look at the pieces, so that you have an opportunity to give mom your business card and tell her, hey, I also sell stuff for mom too. Here's my website. Okay.
Nice.
Now what that's going to do is it's going to open up that communication, and you don't even have to talk to her anymore about the jewelry. You could just simply tell her, look, you know, between me and you, I spend 50 cents a piece for these pieces and I sell them for $1, and the kids just love them, right? I just want to see her have a smile on her face. Now what's going to happen while that little girl's going through, rummaging through the pieces, the mom, if the girl's struggling trying to decide what pieces to get, Now you have an opportunity for the mom to say, that's okay, honey, you get whatever free piece you want, and I'll pay for the other 2, or I'll pay for the other 3. Now you've just sold a couple pieces of product. You've made that little girl happy. The mom has your business card, and you've had a personal one-on-one connection with that person.
Right.
Now let's take that a step farther. Let's say they go home and the daughter really liked the jewelry, or even the mom did, and the mom decides that she's going to go on the website and buy the daughter some more jewelry. What's going to happen when she goes to the website?
She's
Do
gonna,
you know?
yeah, she's gonna order.
Well, she's going to want to order, but we
Oh,
don't carry the
register.
Starlight Shimmer pieces on the website.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't. That's right. I forgot.
And you know why we don't is because of this exact strategy right here. So now that mom's going to call you up and she's going to be like, hey, I just checked out your website. Ding, 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 ding. That's an alarm going off in your head that this woman's now interested in your business, right? You know she's interested in your business. So now you tell this woman and you tell her, I appreciate you checking out my website, but unfortunately, the only way that you can get those yourself is if, now listen, here you go. If you spend $99 and become a consultant with me, you have access to where you can get that jewelry from me. Otherwise, we can meet up and we can do a hostess party, or we can meet up and I can show you some pieces, or you can come to my live show on Friday and I can show you some more of the jewelry. Now, you've not only turned that customer into a customer, but now that customer is also possibly a hostess, and now she's possibly a consultant.
Dang, that is so good.
Wow. That was the juiciest of juice that I think I've heard all dang week. I'm gonna tell you right now, if y'all not taking notes on this
and
alone,
all you're doing is carrying around those children's pieces that you have on stock.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Chris, you sharp. You sharp, bro.
Use the kids' pieces.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, you know, look, as much as I'd like to say that, like, that's what I've come up with and that's my own idea. Yeah, it is to a certain degree, but that's the whole reason why paparazzi put the kids' pieces out there. They didn't put the kids' pieces out there so we can make 50 cents a piece. Are you kidding me? If that was the case, there'd be PV on them. They're out there because they want you to entice the mamas to come shop your website and then have the kids' pieces a separate form that they have to be a consultant to have.
Right.
Right. And now, so when that lady contacts you and you tell her, look, I'm going to be real with you. I mean, if you spend the $99 and got 35 free pieces of jewelry because you spend the $99 and got access to the kids' pieces, it's going to be worth your money. And let me tell you how. And then you get her involved in one of these Zoom conferences and boom, now she's signed up.
Right. That's awesome.
It's all a matter of marketing your business and then taking those opportunities of seeing somebody that you want to speak to. And instead of having that fear that stops you, let that fear turn into excitement, right? Change those in dopamines to, it's not scaring me right now. I'm excited. And I know that I'm going to sell this person on a piece of jewelry, or I'm excited because I know I'm about to make this lady smile when I give her a free piece of earrings and my business card. And you do that when you go to the vet and you pick up your dog. Look, and I'm going to tell you something. Doing that for other customers is great, right? But what if you do it to the girl that works at the Starbucks, right? And every time, like maybe once a week, you give her a free piece of jewelry and she's starting to get addicted to the jewelry, right? And then she finds out that she can make more money selling jewelry than selling coffee. Ooh, what's going to happen when that girl wants to sign up for your team? Because you've invested those free pieces into somebody that you're investing your time into to build them into a business owner.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm no longer telling people like, look, you should sign up with paparazzi so you could quit working Starbucks. No. We ain't having that. I want you to continue working Starbucks because I want you to continue having other customers, right? But at the same time, I want this to be your side gig. until this side
Right.
gig turns out to be more important than your real gig. And now you're no longer working Starbucks full time. You're working part time because you're working full time in paparazzi. Can I get an amen?
Praise the Lord. Huh? Hallelujah.
Amen. You preach it.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But you see, I mean, this business is deeper than the shallow waters that we're wading
in. Can you say that again for the people in the back, Chris?
This business, this is deeper than the shallow waters that you're wading in.
Wow.
You just gotta swim. Hey, and look, you ain't even gotta touch the bottom of the pool. You could doggy paddle. It don't matter.
This is no longer a Zoom conference. This is now church.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in church right now.
Right. My man
Please
Chris
take
is
a
bringing
minute
the
for the
fire.
minister to step up to the podium.
He about to pass
I
around the
get
plate in
2
a
church
minute.
services this week.
Hey, Chris about to pass around the plate in a minute. I know it.
But you know what? Hopefully this is a Zoom conference that you won't forget.
Oh, I won't forget it. Trust me.
You know, and then the more you get, like, now next time you come into a Zoom conference, hopefully you bring your sister with you. And then hopefully another time you bring your neighbor with you or somebody else that wanted to learn a little bit about the business. You know, eventually we're going to have these things so full that you're not going to have the opportunity to talk openly because we're just going to have so much going on that, you know, this is going to be mostly a think tank and a boiler room.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Because in here we do it as if.
Yes, sir. I mean, I think that's a good note to even end on, man. Like, that was solid. Like, that was so solid. Man, I'm a hop off, man. I'm gonna let you guys do what you do. But that was solid. Chris, thank you again. I can't thank you enough, man. Kimberly, you're a great teammate. Thank you for your participation. You know, hey, you know, Rebecca, thank you for your honesty. You know, thank you for, you know what I mean, and coming forth with your humility, because that stuff's not easy. You know what I mean? Like, that's not easy to admit those things. And you know what? It's even harder to it's even harder to overcome them. But guess what? I see that you're on the path, and I believe in you, and I can't wait to see you at the top. So you keep pushing and you keep swimming, and when you hit another roadblock, which you will, because it's life and this is what happens. Right. You know, make sure you don't hesitate to reach out to us. And reach out to Chris, reach out to me, reach out to Marissa, reach out to us, and you know, say, hey, this is happening right now and it sucks and I don't know what to do about it. Get some advice, bring it to the next Zoom conference and say, hey guys, this is what's happening. Please help me with this one. What would you do? And, you know, take that advice and run with it.
Okay, thank you.
And I think I'm going to go ahead and probably end this as well. Do you guys mind if we say a quick prayer before we go?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it.
Dear Lord, I just come to you with my paparazzi friends and family here, brothers and sisters. And Lord, we just ask that you continue to bless us each day with those gifts of favor that you're awarding us with, Lord. Give us the strength and the encouragement to change our ways, to get better habits, to get better results from the time that we use in our days, Lord. Let us become more productive. Let us use those income producing things that will help us grow, Lord, and encourage us, show us, let us see the fruits of what we're doing. Let us feel it. Let other people see it. Let us see the power of not only what paparazzi as a business does, but paparazzi as a movement does, Lord. Let us feel what it takes to be able to control our minds and control our friends and our families through positive encouragement and motivation, Lord. We just ask that you let us grow strong each and every day. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
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 That was beautiful, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Have a blessed day. Tomorrow we'll be meeting at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
You got it.